What a week of professional wrestling. We've had SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver 36. We have debuts coming for AEW. We have contracts expiring. This is Tru Heel Heat 140, the summer of returns. Let's get to it. Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Tru Heel Heat 140, the summer of returns. We're going to be talking about all of the latest wrestling news, including the big scoop of the week that Daniel Bryan will debut at AEW All Out next Saturday instead of Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York City. We're going to talk about where Adam Cole will head to next now that he is officially a free agent. Changes confirmed to NXT from the horse's mouth himself, WWE President Nick Khan. The returns of Brock Lesnar and Becky Lynch at SummerSlam. Details behind both and why NBC, USA, and Fox are upset by these returns and a certain return over on AEW. Recap of SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver 36, WWE Raw, NXT, AEW Dynamite, Rampage, Impact, SmackDown, a whole full week of professional wrestling preview and predictions for NWA EMPOWERRR and NWA 73rd anniversary, plus much more. I am back once again with the resident Tru Heel alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ.
Yes, sir, and it feels good to say, baby, the Mana is back in the house. Damn, that felt good to say. It's been too long in this bitch. It's been too long.
This means the recovery process is going well, ladies and gentlemen. And we don't have the beautiful, the lovely Miss Chrissy Love with us this week, but we got someone who I've been wanting to get on this show for a very long time. One of the best interviewers in the professional wrestling media game. If you don't believe me, go ask Chris Hero himself. He has his own YouTube channel dedicated to his interviews. He does work for Post Wrestling, for the NWA podcast over on Post Wrestling. He is one of the young goats of this wrestling media game, Andrew Thompson. What's going on, brother?
Sid and JJ, I appreciate y'all good brothers having me on. Also, shout out to that good man Romeo, who's behind the camera, the man behind the plan. I appreciate y'all having me on the Tru Heel Heat channel, man.
Oh man, I've been wanting to get you on for quite some time. We connected over on Steph Chase's YouTube channel when we did a super card for AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I did my best to give you a formal introduction, but please introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about what you do and why I had to have you on Tru Heel Heat, my brother.
I write over at Post Wrestling. Like you said, I do the interviews over on my Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel. You go check out most of my stuff over there. Of course, my written work, like I said, over at Post. Me and you connected through Steph Chase's YouTube channel, and then we was able to further connect through Uncle Nate, who we all know runs the Nubian Wrestling Advocates podcast on Post Wrestling that you've been a part of quite a few times, along with that good man Righteous Reg. Shout out to him, man. But yeah, so we connected, man. Just talking some good graps, black people in wrestling, man. You know how we do it. So yeah, I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you on, let you meet the crew. Top Guy JJ, yes, as usual, Romeo is behind the scenes, so expect some memes throughout this episode of Tru Heel Heat whenever Romeo is in the production truck. This edition of Tru Heel Heat is brought to you by our friends over at Warrior Wrestling. Congrats to the team over there for a tremendous set of shows for the Stadium Series throughout the summer. Their exceptional bit of fan appreciation that they they did at the latest Stadium Series, which we were sponsors for, as far as having one of the freelance students working the event pick up a fan that was stranded, sit 15 minutes away from the show without an Uber. This was reported by Dave Meltzer. I thought it was excellent, and it wasn't any surprise to us. We know Steve Tortorella and the crew over there at Warrior Wrestling are just great at how they appreciate the fans. Also, a big congratulations to Thunder Rosa on becoming the new Warrior Wrestling Women's Champion, defeating Kylie Ray in the Tru Heel Heat sponsored matchup at the Stadium Series. Our very own Stat King was there live to take a picture of Thunder Rosa's victory, and it was an emotional moment for her, winning more gold around the world. And we will continue our relationship with Warrior Wrestling coming up. They got an event in October, the Sweet 16, already announced for that event. Bret the Hitman Hart will be there live. So you know our boy Stat King in Chicago will be there for Warrior Wrestling.
Nice.
So we will keep you updated on that event. And of course, as usual, you know the usual maintenance that we do here. Drop us a like, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Over the SummerSlam week, we want to say thank you. We are very grateful to everyone who is already a subscriber or became a subscriber throughout the week. Over 100 different subscribers we gained during SummerSlam week with our live content over 7 days. Our SummerSlam watch along was the most viewed video in Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel history. 15K with Top Guy JJ, Romeo, and the crew watching SummerSlam live with you. They even did the Pacquiao fight, our first time doing non-wrestling on this YouTube channel, because we were so appreciative of all the support. So we want to thank everyone who is new to the channel, everyone that's been a part of the board, and we're pushing toward 2K at the end of this year. So help us along with that journey and share with a friend and tell them to subscribe as well. And if you're watching us on Facebook or Twitter, drop us a like, a heart emoji, an angry emoji, however the week of wrestling made you feel. There was a lot of different emotions, which we will get into. So let us know by, your expressions there. And of course, there is the live chat. We got a whole bunch of people joining us already. We got Frantic World saying what's up, Tru Heel Heat in chat. We got Marjo saying it's SP3. Yes, I am here. And Marjo also saying La Mera is my favorite wrestler right now. She is mine as well. And we want to know what you guys thought about all the latest wrestling news. So let us know in the live chat. And of course, your super chats are greatly appreciated. $1 or more helps out the channel greatly. We're trying to get mics for the whole crew, different cameras and whatnot. We're trying to help this channel grow even more. So a super chat is greatly appreciated, and we will highlight your comment, and we highlight anyone who supports the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. That's why we start off every podcast with our Tru Heel roll call. Coming in, our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heels group page. Coming in at number 3 are Gino Bismo. Coming in at number 2, Jessica V. And coming in at number 1 again, Top Guy JJ, the Negro Buck, Nick Jackson.
This ain't changing. This ain't changing. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna be. He gonna hit we gonna hit 173 in Tru Heel Heat. He's still gonna be there like Goldberg. Like that's the only time we're gonna have a positive Goldberg reference on this show, probably. But that's Nick Jackson's pulling it off, man. He's pulling it off, Negro Buck style.
The streak. The Tru Heels, we got to shout out Austin Hatsfield Brown, Stewie Palmer, Matt the Misfit, Fala B, who supported us throughout the whole week on the SummerSlam week. YouTube subscriber highlight, we got Beep Boop saying on NX3 number 20, is Kyle O'Reilly's gimmick that he is a West Coast Canadian? And you my boy Blue responded with, I thought his gimmick was Sean from Boy Meets World. Andrew,
are either of them wrong?
Bro,
what do you think?
A West Coast Canadian.
I guess that's what Cool Kyle is. Cool Kyle's a West Coast Canadian. And then
I don't know why that's so funny, but West Coast Canadian.
It was funny. It was funny to me. That's why I had to highlight that one. Al Maddox said, truly Romeo is just being a heel, talking about Romeo's spicy opinion that he liked Karrion Kross's new look on Monday Night Raw. He says no one with rational thought can think that this Kross stuff is even close to being good creatively. LOL. He said that on Rated Raw Superstars. Number 15, Andrew. like I said, Romeo in the truck.
I mean, come on. I mean, when he comes out to still no reaction, nobody gives a fuck. This clearly ain't working, bro.
What did you think about Karrion Kross's new look, Andrew?
Man, it's really been a dub for Kross since he lost to Jeff Hardy. Like, because the thing is, see, the thing is, like, I think this whole trajectory down period for Kross started when Adam Cole cut that promo on him, because Adam Cole, like, it could be different if, like, I kind of compare it to when John Cena and Roman Reigns had the thing in 2017. Like, Cena, he still grilled Roman, but he kept it within the context of, like, okay, we still got this match to build to. Like, Adam Cole just pulled every card from Kross, like, you know, he wasn't lying. That's the thing. He told, like, everything he said was factual. So when people, like, really got to look at the promo and really broke it down, it just made Kross look bad, and then it made it funny to clown him. And then on top of that, you got him coming out on Raw looking like, you know, whatever. And then I was listening to the Wwe Raw podcast that John and Wade did, and something funny that he said. It was like they probably gonna end up just start calling him Kross, and then that's when it's gonna go downhill.
You know the WWE clip of the names. You ain't lying.
When they just start calling him Kross. So I mean, I'm not gonna say he's like ruined, like, because I'm not gonna say that, but at the same time, it ain't looking too good for Kross, man. Like, they literally chanted Jeff Hardy at that man's send off, like, off camera.
And where's Scarlett?
You are so kind, Andrew. You are so kind. You probably got an interview with Karrion Kross in the future, don't you?
He's trying to escape the line. Nah, man, WWE ain't slimy no interviews, man. But the thing is, I don't like to use the word ruin per se, because that's kind of like a stretch. Because I mean, you know, because at the end of the day, WWE, they gonna push who they want to push. But, like, I don't think it's looking too good for him right now. Like, I would say he goes on a losing streak within the next couple of weeks. He probably get another loss to Jeff Hardy. You never know. He
can still recover, like you said, but it ain't looking good, bro.
It ain't looking good, man.
It's been looking downhill ever since he came out the first time on Monday Night Raw. It's been downhill ever since.
We got one of my favorites in the live chat here, Lizzie Stallion from the wrestling community, Good Eggs. She also says, what are all those containers and drawers behind Top Guy JJ? You want to tell her your secret?
Oh, this here, my girl Lizzie, this is my massive Bath and Body Works candle collection. I am actually one of the store managers to a place, so I just have like a dibs on so much stuff. So it goes deeper than this. It goes like 3 deep. So this is like my massive candle collection, and that's just one of my great ones. Yeah, but yeah, it's real.
We also got some new people in the chat. We got the Weekly Rub podcast. My first time seeing you. I don't know if you're a regular here, but thank you for joining us for Tru Heel Heat 140. We also got Jamal McGee joining us, saying, hey there, hey to you. Thank you for joining. If you're new, push that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. We go live every single Saturday with the Tru Heel Heat weekly podcast. And then we got a question I'll give to Andrew here. The real question is, can Kross survive this? How does Kross survive this? We're getting into the nitty gritty with the questions in the live chat already.
Maybe if they take that dumbass red X off him and then take the mask, like they stripped away, and like just going back to it, that Adam Cole promo, like when he said that Kross got the lights, the entrance, the music, the manager being Scarlett. When you strip all that away, Kross is not, like, I mean, admittedly, he's not that super impressive on TV. It's like, you know, just like another regular guy. It's not impressive. Like, they stripped away everything that made him feel important. You know what I'm saying? So
strip is the operative word there. We're gonna get into our top news story, though. It's not about Karrion Kross. We will get to that.
That's all I was gonna say. I was gonna answer that question with 2 words: Scarlett Bordeaux. That's all he needs. Yeah. Do you see that fine ass woman that is not on television with him right now? It's a crime. It's a crime.
They turned him into Mark Merrill. But yes, your top news story. Top news story is about Daniel Bryan, aka Bryan Danielson. Apparently, is set to debut at AEW All Out next Saturday. A new report says that Daniel Bryan's AEW debut has been moved up, as has been we've talked about previously on Tru Heel Heat. Bryan is reportedly signed with AEW and had originally set to debut at the Grand Slam Dynamite on September 22nd in New York City. However, Cassidy Haynes of BodySlam.net, the man who originally posted the original report of Bryan signing, now reports that Bryan will be debuting at All Out on September 5th. The site reports that Bryan's debut was moved up due to concern over the COVID-19 spike and new mandates and restrictions in New York City. It is also seen as a way to capitalize on the buzz caused by the debut of CM Punk, with record ratings for AEW Rampage, as well as a very high rating, the second biggest rating of all time for AEW Dynamite this past week. Haynes is, like I said, the original reporter who broke the news of Bryan's pending signing with AEW. This also follows CM Punk teasing Bryan's debut in his first Dynamite interview. When the fans chanted yes at Punk, he responded, "That is someone else's stick, and you just gonna have to be a little more patient." So, Andrew, what are your thoughts on the reports of Daniel Bryan's debut at AEW All Out? And do you think it is wise to push it up a few weeks?
So it seems like all signs are for sure pointing to Danielson popping up in AEW, which I think is Punk is a very, very massive addition. Like I think I would put him and Bryan like 1A, 1B, and you could kind of put those wherever you see fit. That's a massive gift for AEW. Like him coming in immediately, he bringing in a whole different fan base. Honestly, like you even got the people, like you can even factor in the reality show stuff that he did with Nikki and Brie Bella. Like he bringing in that audience as well that's going to be tuned in to see what he want to do. I do think that it is if that report is indeed accurate and that is the plan that he's going to end up debuting at All Out. I think it is a smart move to kind of capitalize off the buzz. CM Punk did tease that, whether that was purposely or he did it on accident. Either way, he got a lot of good attention towards AEW for that. So I think a lot of people really are excited to see Bryan, man. If not a lot of people, mostly everybody is excited. I think everybody's geeked to hear the final countdown for one more good time. I don't know how long it's been. I think the last time that happened was like when he was in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, 2009.
So
this was over a decade.
Yeah, so it's gonna be cool to see Bryan, man, in a different setting and like sort of because we've heard plenty of stories about how WWE like to tell certain wrestlers like, hey, tone it down, don't do this at this point and stuff like that. So it's gonna be cool to see him sort of in an environment where he'll be allowed to just do what he does and be free and stuff like that. And the talent at AEW, man, that he'll be able to work with. I know a lot of people fantasy booking a faction of Bryan leading young grapplers like Lee Moriarty and Daniel Garcia, and like they're just sort of following behind his footsteps. I think that'd be a cool thing. But like as far as his debut goes, like if indeed it is happening All Out, I can see something like him confronting Miro after Miro taps out Eddie Kingston. Like honestly, I think that was going to happen at the Arthur Ashe show, being Eddie Kingston's hometown in New York. And then Miro taps him out in the main event, and then the crowd's upset they didn't get the hometown victory, and then here comes Bryan Danielson to come save the day, stuff like that. I think that would have been a real cool moment. But yeah, Bryan Danielson to AEW, man, that's a massive get. Like them having him and CM Punk on the roster at the exact same time, on top of the young guys that they already got on the up and up, and just the young talent they got all around, man. It's AEW, man, they doing it right, man.
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of like lapsed wrestling fans that are coming back due to AEW. Like I've heard quite often over the past week, people that haven't watched WWE in a while but love CM Punk and love what he did over a decade ago are coming back and giving AEW a try. And with Bryan Danielson, he has the people that might have just fallen off in the last couple of months because he was there for WrestleMania, and now they're going to try out AEW, or WWE fans that are big fans of Daniel Bryan are going to try out AEW for the first time with him debuting at All Out. It's the perfect storm right now, and it might not be the only guys with a lot of the reports we're hearing. But what about you, Top Guy JJ? Are you disappointed that it might not be in New York City and might be at All Out in Chicago? And do you think it's a wise decision to push it up a few weeks?
I'm torn. I'm not going to hold you. I'm torn. I'm definitely torn that I think that this would have been an incredible moment at Arthur Ashe Stadium. But again, I think it's what's considered a moment. So I think just put it in perspective. Either he comes out, I'm getting chills just thinking, if you get Final Countdown at the end of Miro's match or at the end of Kenny Omega retaining, just the clash of titans, if you hear that music to any one of those matches, AEW is doing what they're striking while the iron is hot. Right now, they have their largest viewership probably in company history. Yeah, obviously, they probably had their second highest viewers of Dynamite. Obviously, there's one episode higher than that. But right now, AEW's buzz is immense with the debut of Malachi Black. Then you get CM Punk coming through. There's ramblings of who else is coming in the next month or so, baby. There's so much going on. Strike while the iron is hot because they want to get that jump in the ratings for both Dynamite and Rampage right now. So if they hold it off for another 3 weeks, Arthur Ashe Stadium is what, September 15th?
22nd.
22nd.
Yeah.
September 22nd. So that's another 2.5 weeks that you have to wait. They can use those 2 episodes of Dynamite to build him up for Arthur Ashe and actually probably have him wrestle there.
Yeah.
So, it would be an amazing thing to build him up to actually get in the ring by then instead of having him just come out. You get both. If he gets to debut at All Out and then debut officially at Arthur Ashe Stadium in a match. This is a win-win. I'm torn because it's not in New York because that's where we all are. But I think it's the smart move to have him come out while they're probably going to have their highest viewership of the entire year at this pay-per-view.
Yeah, I'm about to say they can get it they can get like you said, they can follow up on that. He can show up at All Out and then right after that promote an appearance for Dynamite. That's get people excited about that, and you keep building along the way there. I know we all said it, but the final count, I don't know why I'm so excited.
That's it. That's one of the best theme songs in wrestling that we haven't heard in over a decade.
It's crazy because I reached out to Europe to see if a pro wrestling company had inquired about getting the theme song. They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me. I had reached out because I wanted to try to get the scoop.
Bro, they paid the bag to get Cult of Personality. You don't think they're gonna get Final Countdown?
No. But I'm saying I wanted to see if they would have relayed that information, but they did. They said that nobody hasn't reached out yet. I don't know if that's them saying that we're not gonna tell you the information, or that's maybe somebody really didn't inquire yet. But I guess we're gonna see.
Hey, Tony Khan, if he can't get in touch with Europe, he'll get some other band that has done a cover of Final Countdown, if anything.
He probably got it. I know Europe, they have their own thing, but they have the people who do the rights and stuff like that. So that's probably a whole different department that you got to contact to get that type of information.
Yeah, but I'm very much looking forward to it. I feel like Final Countdown is for a different generation of fans. The 90s, they had Enter the Sandman. And I think the 2010s had Final Countdown. That was the sing-along song for hardcore wrestling fans. And I feel like having that back is going to be a glorious moment, whether it happens at All Out, whether it happens at Arthur Ashe Stadium. It's a hot time to be an AEW fan. My final question for you brothers right now is, how do you think AEW should debut Bryan Danielson again against who? Andrew, you said against Miro. So how about you, Top Guy JJ? Do you think it should be against Miro, against Kenny Omega, against someone else? How do you think they debut him at All Out?
I feel like he's going to come out, personally. I think he's going to come out after the Kenny Omega match, but then have matches that build to it. He's obviously not going to come right into the title picture, but I think he's going to just make an appearance and give Kenny that shocked look that he's only going to naturally give by seeing the American Dragon there. You know what I mean? It's something that's so surreal that you never thought you would ever step in a ring with this guy, and he's coming there to wrestle. He's not coming there to cut promos. He's coming there to wrestle. So he ain't coming there to get on the mic like CM Punk is going to do probably every week and then have a few matches. Bryan Danielson is going to fucking get in that ring. So seeing him, it's oh shit, he's coming for me. He's coming for my neck. He's going to have to earn it, but he might be ready by Full Gear.
I was say y'all think they probably gonna end up doing something like not like more so of a formal entrance, but just have him come out and come do something similar to what Moxley did, and then the following week on Dynamite, then you give him the whole entrance and all that good stuff. But the first time you just have him come out and maybe hit somebody with the flying knee or something like that.
Yeah, I think that they will have the crowd do their own music, and the crowd will just cheer yes, 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 yes. They'll just scream yes for him, and then you can have the formal entrance the first time with Final Countdown on Dynamite, and then you could set up like the big match for Grand Slam. But I saw an interesting comment in here, which brings up a very good point. Jeff L from the Hood says, I would have preferred Daniel Bryan over Cole and Arthur Ashe. But do you think that, with the fact that they are moving up Daniel Bryan, according to this report, do you think this opens the door for an Adam Cole to make his debut at Arthur Ashe Stadium, Andrew?
See, the thing is, like, while all these debuts and stuff is exciting, like, you gotta get stuff time to breathe, man. Like, you can't just throw everything at the wall back to back to back. Like, it's cool. I'm pretty sure ain't nobody gonna complain. Like, I'm not gonna complain if they just let's roll out the red carpet. But at the same time, I feel like you should kind of space that stuff out. If they do indeed, if Adam Cole does decide to go to AEW, honestly, bro, I would probably wait till after like Full Gear. Like, I would let people kind of forget about Adam Cole a little bit in the sense of not. You would hint at it or something like that, or maybe like have the Bucks keep doing what they're doing on BTE and stuff like that, and then let the anticipation build up, and then have them come out when people least expect it. Like, but at the same time, like, I feel like you should just focus on the two big acquisitions in Danielson and Punk right now, and then kind of slowly integrate Adam Cole in there some way somehow. Like, I don't really know how they would bring Adam Cole into the fold. I feel like it would be an obvious thing to align him with the Young Bucks and probably have some like tension there between him and Omega probably.
Right, like redo the whole angle, because that was a hot angle that they did like in 2016 2017, where you thought that they would do it. I thought like in 2017 they would do it at Super Card of Honor in during WrestleMania 33 weekend between Kenny Omega and Adam Cole, have that match at Ring of Honor, or then they would probably have it in New Japan, but they never pulled the trigger on that match, and it was years of buildup and the tension for the love of the Young Bucks, which is kind of similar to the storyline we're seeing into All Out with Andrade and Pac fighting for the love of the Lucha Bros. But it was originally Cole and Omega who was like fighting for the love of the Young Bucks, who was their best friend, and we never saw that matchup. So I would think that if you have like a Daniel Bryan come in and feud with Miro, and you have CM Punk working with the Darby Allins, maybe transition from Darby to Jon Moxley, who's been saying a lot of things as of late, you can have Adam Cole come into that main event scene, who he has a lot of history with the Bucks, with Kenny Omega, and even with Hangman Page. He's the guy that kind of opened the door for Hangman Page to join the Bullet Club even more than the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So it's a very interesting time, and that gives us a natural transition into our other top news story, which is all about Adam Cole, officially a free agent today. On this week's Wrestling Observer Radio, it was noted that according to someone close to Cole, he is a free agent and not under WWE contract at this time. Cole finished up with NXT brand on Sunday at NXT TakeOver 36, losing to Kyle O'Reilly in the Undisputed Finale match. It was noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Cole's decision on whether to go to AEW or return to WWE for a main roster run has not 100% been made yet, but the ball is in his court. The Young Bucks changed their Twitter bio following Cole's loss to Kyle O'Reilly, putting in a link to the video, the most infamous seances in history, from YouTuber Slapped Ham, who creates videos about the supernatural and unexplained phenomenon, is probably about to be very confused as to why he has so many Adam Cole to AEW confirmed messages in his comments showing up in the video. The Bucks appear to be referencing the fact that Cole died in being the Elite when he went to WWE in 2017. However, both PW Insider and Fightful Select reported that according to WWE sources, Cole was not officially a free agent until Friday. First, PW Insider reported that Cole was a free agent on Wednesday, but then it was Fightful who corrected that report and said that within WWE, Cole is considered done with the company on Friday, August 27th, unless, of course, he is re-signed. The contract expiration date means that Cole would have not been able to appear on AEW Dynamite or Rampage this week, as Rampage was filmed on Wednesday. Fightful also noted that sources in the company say they expect another offer to be extended to Cole from WWE sometime during this week. Fightful reported last weekend that as of Sunday morning, Cole had not signed a new deal with the company, and now Cole has made a few other moves that have people speculating as to what's next for him. Wrestling Inc. notes that Cole has removed a link to his WWE shop page from his Twitter account following his appearance on a Mattel figure promotional video for WWE that he appeared on, and it's one that was reportedly still there as of Thursday night. Cole has also announced that he was canceling his Friday Twitch stream, leading to more speculation regarding his next move. I will ask you first, Top Guy JJ, where do you think Adam Cole will sign next after officially becoming a free agent?
This is, again, if he's obviously he's a smart guy. So obviously he knows, I believe he's a guy that knows his worth. So him realizing that, one, they didn't even pay attention to his contract until literally like the end of the pay-per-view, and they're like, oh shit, it's almost over. Smart Adam Cole obviously makes this move, but I think I said this in a couple of Tru Heel Heats ago that I am a component of literally of what Andrew said is letting this breathe, because Adam Cole is such a big star. He would be considered like the third debut, like, and he's too big for that. Like, I still like, and to put him in the main event scene after being the third debut would kind of be like, you just brought in the two biggest indie stars like ever, and then you're putting this guy in the main event scene. So I would fully agree that he should kind of like hold off for a bit and then let Bryan have his shine, let this Punk thing simmer down a little bit, because he won't be the talk of the wrestling town if he comes right now. He won't be the talk right now. He'll just be another acquisition. And I think he's too big for that. So it's either he's re-signing with the WWE if he's coming back to active programming right now, or he's taking a break and then we'll come to AEW by like October, because I think that just makes sense for him, because he's such a big star to be considered like the third, the other debut, because you had these two monster debuts that's coming up here. Mm-hmm. It's going to kind of be hard to get out of that shadow to be, the biggest debut in AEW history when you just had the two biggest debuts in AEW history. So it's kind of hard pressed for me to think that he would do anything other than wait if he's going to leave the WWE for good. But if he's going to come back to active competition, expect to see him on fucking Monday Night Raw or SmackDown in the next couple of weeks.
How about you, Andrew? Where do you think Adam Cole is heading to next? Is it going to be the WWE main roster, or is it going to be AEW? And why do you think it's the best decision for him?
Now, firstly, I think JJ has some really, really good points. I think he touched on a lot of good stuff, and he kind of touched on everything, to be honest with you. Like, that was some really solid points he made. Like, as far as Adam Cole in his future, like, honestly, bro, like, Adam Cole, he really can't make a bad decision, like, in this position. Like, he has all the leverage that a talent will want. Like, when you look at the pros and cons, of course, WWE, their booking compared to AEW's, as far as the Raw SmackDown compared to Dynamite, it's not even a question if we've been, like, completely real, like, unless you under that Roman Reigns type banner where they kind of just, they take care of Roman and all his storylines are delicate and handle well and stuff like that. And, everybody else is just like, hey, y'all be okay.
You hear?
Y'all can get that. Y'all can get
you on at 845. Make it work.
Y'all can get those scraps.
But I don't think Adam Cole can really make a bad decision, because let's say he stays with WWE, right? He could keep doing it. Well, I'm pretty sure he probably possibly could finesse his way into continue doing the Twitch thing. He said publicly that is not ending. Like, that's not something that he's looking. He gets the up down thing that he's like an integral part of that channel. He goes to the main roster. He probably, more than likely probably gonna make bank And I mean, and then the other thing at this is Adam Cole's only like 31, 32 years old, bro. He's
still
not
young
old.
as hell.
He's
Still young as hell.
Still young as hell. He's not even like, I would say most wrestlers hit their prime when they're like,
bro. In wrestling, that is young as hell.
That is young. Yes, 100%. That is young. And then if he goes to AEW, you with your significant other who's on top of her game right now. You with some of your best friends who you came up with in the industry, like, and you really probably 9 times out of 10 you probably will get booked really well. Like, you probably gonna be in a prominent storyline from the jump. So I mean, he really can't make a bad choice. Like, either way, I feel like Adam Cole is gonna make the best decision. Like, he can, go to stay in WWE, like I said, probably make bank and keep doing the up down stuff, and then he can go to AEW, do his Twitch stuff, and be with his best friends, be with his significant other on the road, and like it really doesn't seem like a bad choice that he can make. But me personally, I would like to see him go to AEW because I feel like they will utilize him well, like on the main roster. Like it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot. It's like a 50-50 chance he'll either be successful or he won't. Like, I feel like AJ Styles was one of the guys who came in, and like one of the smaller guys per se, as far as like being the same size as Adam Cole, came in, made an impact. AJ Styles won the WWE title like his first 6 months in the company. You know what I'm saying? And like Bryan broke through, but like that was more so because they really didn't want him to, but then he did anyway. Like, so it's like one of those things. So it's going to be a crapshoot if he stays on the main roster. Like, but if I'm looking at it, I'm like, look what they're doing to Karrion Kross. Look what they did him when he was NXT champion. You know what I'm saying? And they, and look at most of the call ups they get, that come up. Like, I would say, if we're looking at, probably some successful call ups, like you could say Riddle. I guess.
Yeah.
You can say him, but I mean, like, everybody else is just like,
But look at the whole history too, and the fact that you guys said, you guys have made excellent points that Adam Cole's 32 years old. He can sign with AEW for 2 or 3 years, and by the time he's 35, he's the average age of a main roster superstar. He can go back to WWE and be like an AJ Styles and have that type of run where they will view you as one of their top stars if you're successful in someplace else, like especially if you're successful in the AEW and you're one of the first guys who goes from like AEW to back to WWE. That's going to be big time for him, and he's going to be kept at a certain level that he wouldn't be kept at if he goes to the main roster right now. I think that's a common misconception that people are saying, oh, if he signs with AEW, he can't go back to WWE. I call BS on that. I call BS on that completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Andrew said, if he goes either way, he's fine, but it's more of a guarantee that they're going to keep him at the star level that he is right now if he goes to AEW. But playing devil's advocate, if he is to sign with WWE, Top Guy JJ, do you have faith that Vince McMahon will book him like a top star?
If you look at how Finn Balor is being booked right now, that's exactly how Adam Cole will be booked. So he'll be handled okay, but he won't ever hit the potential that he is clearly what we know he is as a professional wrestler and as somebody, and he delivers on the mic. Like, how many guys from this scene delivers on the microphone? Like, Finn Balor is trash on the mic, bro. Like, let's call it fade. Like, and they're handling him pretty well. Adam Cole is money on that microphone. So if they put him in a position, he'll obviously shine. It's obviously we got that phobia, but that WWE booking phobia, that it just won't happen there. So that's what we're fearful of. Like, obviously we said the smart move, go wait a little while and go to AEW. Like, that's the smart move. But obviously if he wants to make bank, like you said, make bank, get the biggest paycheck he possibly can, get his soon to be probably wife Britt Baker like the best house that they can possibly live in, then obviously you're going to stay with WWE. So it's a choice that he needs to make. And we've said this on multiple podcasts. This is a choice that he's going to make. And as Andrew said, I don't think he's going to make a wrong decision here because he's going to make the best decision for Adam Cole. But we're just speaking as fans that if he's going to go one place, he's going to get booked properly. If he goes to one place, he's taking the bag. And honestly, you can't go wrong either way.
We got a couple of good comments here. Nick Jackson says, as a guy who became an ROH fan around the 2010s, I just really want to hear Adam Cole's old theme, Something For You. Get your checkbook ready, TK. It'll cost less money than Cult of Personality or Final Countdown. That's for sure.
That motherfucking song would be fucking cheap as hell to get, bro. Because And I'm an Adam Cole mark, bro. But honestly, like, I didn't even know the name of that song until you just mentioned it on Tru Heel Heat.
I did. That was a banger. That's one of my favorite ROH themes of all time.
That song is fire. I heard this shit multiple times, but I just never knew the name of it. And you're talking to somebody that loves Adam Cole in 2021. Like, I didn't know the fucking name of that song.
Fifth Generation says, has WWE really been at Adam Cole's house negotiating or his Twitter account? No, that is definitely. I haven't heard that from any reliable source.
Bro.
I know they had the high priority meeting on backstage at the SmackDown, the same SmackDown where they released all those NXT talents, including Bobby Fish. That brings me to a question to you, Andrew. Do you think that the release of Bobby Fish and how Adam Cole reacted to Tyler Breeze is affecting his decision on whether to sign with WWE or not?
I think it's definitely something that he's thinking about. I think Adam Cole is just he's a professional, similar to that good sister Bianca Belair, who's also a professional. I'm pretty sure we're going to touch on that later on. But I think Adam Cole is professional enough to not publicly show like that much of a disappointment, because especially somebody in his position, he wants to keep everything lined up and everything in order. So but I definitely think probably on the inside, just from a human being perspective, it's like, damn, you just released all these people and you try to convince me to stay here. It's like, but because what if something were to go wrong? Would you end up letting me go in a couple of years or something like that? So I'm pretty sure that's something he probably considering. Like JJ said, and like you said, like there's no really bad decision that he can make in this situation, but I think we all know the decision that will most likely favor him from a storyline perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention, like I know I was saying WWE he probably get the most money there. That's no slight on AEW. I'm pretty
No.
They got bag.
They got the bag. They get the bag out. Yeah, they get the bag out. But they've been paying a lot of bags lately. They've been paying a lot of bags lately. So.
And then on that, JJ, like not to go too much on top, but JJ just sort of brought up something in my head. Like we starting to hear like a lot more stories about, or a couple more stories, I should say, about talents or people re-signing with the AEW. So you would think those 2019 deals are starting to, they starting to come up. Like we just heard Bryce Remsburg announce that he re-signed with the company. Jacob Roberts got an extension with the company. I know people like MJF ain't going nowhere. He signed like a 5-year deal, so that ain't. But you would think that those deals that got signed in 2019 are starting to. They start trying to roll up within the next year, maybe 2023. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see. As far as Adam Cole going back to him, it's going to be interesting to see what he does, man.
Yeah, and
to be fair, like Adam Cole, when he leaves, if he leaves WWE, he should have nothing but nice things to say about them. Yeah. Like he honestly should have nothing, because his NXT career, we literally put him in the Mount Rushmore of NXT careers. He should have nothing but good things to say about them. Obviously, this last couple weeks has been obviously what we've been expecting, but he should have nothing but positive things to say about them, because he was a star coming into NXT. Right now, he is like one of the most wanted athletes in the entire wrestling industry right now.
Yeah, Adam Cole, bro, he had like probably. Oh, you going to say it? My bad.
No, I was going to say that kind of answers Romeo's question that he had to hear in the live chat. How will you look back on Adam Cole's NXT career, and did it help his career? What do you think, Andrew?
I honestly, bro, I think Adam Cole is probably the greatest NXT champion to probably come through the brand. Like he's definitely, I would say, top 5 greatest NXT talents to ever come through that brand, and that's like honestly, you got to credit.
Finn Balor's knocking.
I said top 5. I said top 5. But,
hey, I give it to Adam Cole, longest reigning NXT champion, and how he was basically at the top of NXT his entire run. 4 years.
Phenomenal.
I would definitely say Adam Cole probably had one of the greatest NXT runs, and like it was like you guys just said, it was from start to finish. Like there was no point during Adam Cole's run where he felt anything less than a top star.
Mm-hmm.
And like I really think I really think the moment he debuted was when that was solidified, because I remember I was listening to an interview he did. I know you guys probably remember when him and Bobby and Kyle, when they went up on the stage and he did the first Adam Cole baby. He wasn't supposed to do that. Nobody backstage knew that he was going to do that, and he just decided on that moment, like, you know what, like if they know who I am, then
I'm gonna test how over I am right now.
Exactly. and that's what he did. And I think by him doing that, like, of course we don't know like what Triple H or Shawn Michaels or anybody was thinking in that time, but I'm pretty sure even if that was said, or that was you, JJ, that was behind the scenes, and you saw him just try that randomly and get that big of a reaction, you probably be like, damn, like
I would have liked it. I would have liked it. I'd have liked
Exactly.
it because just like you got a talent that's literally tested. He's testing his popularity. Like how many athletes do that? He's testing. Like, yo, I'm a popular indie star. Obviously, I've been in arenas that's been having like 1,500 to 3,000 people at max. I'm in a building with motherfucking almost 17, 18,000 people in it. I'm gonna test this motherfucker right now. And you got that unanimous Adam Cole, baby! Like that shit was unanimous.
And me and Top Guy JJ was there, and the rumors was already, out that Adam Cole was going to debut. I had my Adam Cole Ring of Honor shirt with me, like I was ready, and that was the only thing that needed to be done was him do the Adam Cole baby. So when he did that, I was like everybody else, baby. So it was a great moment, and definitely he's on the Mount Rushmore of NXT talents, especially for his run. We got another good comment here from Micah Butler saying, if I'm Adam Cole, I'm gone. His good friends with Tyler Breeze and Bobby Fish, and he didn't care for them being fired. Also, there's his wife and friends who are already in AEW, and that's real. Because last time we seen Sammy, Liv, Naomi, Cesaro for the first time in forever, where they been? So yeah, there's a lot of talent that don't get on TV, regardless of the promises that they've been given and how they've been used in NXT. So those are very solid points right there.
No, I was just gonna add, you go ahead, JJ.
Go.
I was gonna say, like what you just mentioned, said, like I think the thing with AEW, like them having their dark elevation programs, it kills all of that where they been stuff. Like it's like I'm pretty sure that's a morale thing as well, because like I'm pretty sure you don't want to bring people to TV, you have them sit in the back and not do nothing, and like what I'm saying, because you basically flying them out from their own places for no reason. And like with AEW, like even though it may not be no 10-minute match, like you out there doing something, you getting broadcasted on the TV show or they show highlights and stuff like that. Or you on the YouTube show, like it's beneficial. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes people like, hey, if we can't get you on Dynamite, then we can get you on this. Then we can get you on Monday. We get you on Monday, Tuesday, or we get you on Friday. And then at that, some of the times could take indie bookings. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the thing is, bro, like I'm not like not to go too deep into it, but like WWE, they could have prevented all of this shit. Like they could have stopped all of this dead in the water if they would have just followed the simple formula of just presenting people in a proper manner, and then on top of that, creating more space for people to shine. Like you got Malachi Black popping up at PWG. You know what I'm saying? Do you not think that's attractive to people that's currently in WWE who were staples in PWG and seeing that, like, damn, they signed to a national company and they popping up at PWG? Like I saw, and I'm not saying Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn or anybody like would leave WWE. I'm not saying at all, but I saw them commenting on it when PWG first came back and Malachi Black was on the show and Sign Talents was on the show. I'm pretty sure they like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cool.
WWE got their eyes on what AEW's doing.
That's a beautiful looking stadium too. On the ash, baby.
Hey, JJ, I wanted to ask you, how do you think they would shoot? I'm kind of curious to ask Romeo too. I don't know if he could pop in, but I wanted to ask y'all, like, how would y'all even shoot Arthur Ashe Stadium? Like that, like I'm talking about like the visual, like
you need the lights on. You need the lights on. Like you said, Arthur Ashe is one of the most beautiful things in New York that is completely underrated. That the lights need to be on. Like the light, you need to see how many people can actually be in that place, and to see AEW be able to fill that up. Like, don't have a dark setting. Do not shy away from having that beautiful crowd being shown, because that place is gonna be fucking ruckus. That shit is gonna be live. That shit is not gonna look like that. That's not gonna be the crowd of a tennis match. That's a tennis match crowd right there. That shit is gonna be full. Obviously, the only reason it wouldn't be full is because we got some people over here that don't want to get vaccinated. Obviously, we got a bunch of stubborn motherfuckers over here. But you know what I mean. But to be fair, that shit is gonna be packed to the rafters. And you need to have the lights on that shit. You need to have the lights on. Just like how you see how them lights is on that building right now. The lights need to be on.
So we even got people they just bought an Adam Cole t-shirt on eBay, Jamal McGee says, yes, the buzz for Adam Cole and possibly arriving in AEW or re-signing in WWE, it's very large. We're going to have to wait and see and keep you updated on that. But we have to talk about other people that just showed
really
up.
quick. I think, remember we talked about this literally 2 weeks ago about how the importance of how Adam Cole was I really brought this up that he was distraught on his stream when he realized that Tyler Breeze got released. Like, that's real shit. Like, when you realize one of your best friends gets released without notice, that shit puts it puts a precedent on you, man, because he was one of the most over dudes in NXT. Like, how does Adam Cole doesn't know that can't happen to him?
Yeah. Yeah, it's very telling, and they're doing a meeting with you backstage at SmackDown, and then your boy that you came up with in a stable that they literally botched the whole breakup of Undisputed Era. Undisputed Era is a top 5, top 6 stable in WWE history, and they totally botched it. They never teased it. They never built up to the breakup. They did it as a shock breakup, and then they totally botched the aftermath. Bobby Fish is not with the company. Roderick Strong's in the Cruiserweight division. Kyle O'Reilly, they tried to make the big babyface, he's still not there, and now Adam Cole is possibly gone. So they totally botched that Undisputed Era. They should have been called up to the main roster together because that was their best chance of all of them succeeding, and they just totally botched that whole thing. So
I 100%.
Would the Undisputed Era have been much better to wreck Monday Night Raw than Retribution?
Probably. Probably. Anything would have been better than the whole retribution.
It's come on, man. It's like this, we rank, this is why we get, and I think Tru Heel Heat, Andrew, is one of the only podcasts that calls it like it is on WWE. And we don't do it because we don't love WWE. We clearly love the fucking brand. We love the product. But when, we have said this time and time again on the show, they have the greatest roster probably in wrestling history. And look at how they fucking fumble the ball on all of these people. And then when we call it like it is, we're anti-WWE. We're WWE haters. No, we just fucking gave SummerSlam all the praise in the world, except that stupid ass shit that that we gonna talk about later. But we call it like it is, yo. We call it like it is. That's all it is.
Let's talk about that now, gentlemen, because SummerSlam was highlighted by our other top news story, the returns of Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar. At SummerSlam 2021, the biggest news coming out of the event was the returns of Becky Lynch and Brock Lesnar. Both have contrasting results coming out of their returns. Becky Lynch returned after WWE announced Sasha Banks was pulled from SummerSlam and would be replaced by Carmella against Bianca Belair. Becky got a massive pop and beat up Carmella to replace her against Belair. 23 seconds later, 2 moves later, after shaking hands, Becky Lynch defeated Bianca Belair to win the SmackDown Women's Championship with the manhandle slam in a baffling case of booking right there. PW Insider reported that Lynch will be working as the top heel of the women's division on SmackDown and will initially feud with Bianca Belair. The site noted that this was confirmed with multiple sources within WWE. They also report that until this week, Lynch had been positioned to return in October and not at SummerSlam. Lynch stepped in to face Belair after Sasha Banks was pulled from competing at the event. PW Insider originally reported that this was a Vince McMahon idea and pitch, but Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio reported that it was actually Becky Lynch who asked to be brought back as a heel. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Lynch was inspired by the current heel run of Roman Reigns, who has received praise for his work in the role since returning last year. Fightful reported that Belair was said to be in good spirits following her squash loss at SummerSlam and impress officials with her attitude towards the creative decision. On the other,
Romeo did wrong, bro. He did wrong.
Romeo with the sneak attacks, bro. Sneak attacks.
He petty.
Sneak attacks are the best in the business.
He's petty for that one.
He's the number one Charlotte Flair fan. That's what happens when you got a Charlotte Flair fan in the production truck. On the other end of the spectrum, Brock Lesnar reported following Roman Reigns. He returned following Roman Reigns' win over John Cena to retain the Universal Championship. Brock and Roman had a conversation with Paul Heyman, selling the moment superbly. A new report has details on WWE's plans for Brock Lesnar now that he's returned to WWE SmackDown. SmackDown, PW Insider reports that WWE has positioned Lesnar as a babyface on the SmackDown brand. In addition, Fightful Select reports that WWE sources believe that Lesnar is under contract for about a year and a half and at least 8 matches under his current deal. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the deal is to bring back Lesnar was made at the last minute, and he likely didn't get much advance notice prior to him showing up. Those close to the situation say that it was a last-minute arrangement made for multiple reasons. It was allegedly related to WWE's deal with Fox, John Cena leaving after SummerSlam, and CM Punk returning to wrestling for AEW. It was noted that Lesnar was always likely to return for the match with Reigns, but it was considered for months later if Brock doesn't do this year's WrestleMania, or years later if Rock does return. Lesnar benefited through the timing of the situation to get an even better deal. That's the best negotiator in the business, ladies and gentlemen. And they had been nothing. There'd been nothing to the rumors that AEW wanted him due to the cost it involved. According to one story, Vince McMahon didn't know that AEW wasn't interested, but the decision wasn't so much due to McMahon or Fox thinking Lesnar would go to AEW, but rather they wanted a big news story for the weekend to counter CM Punk's return. According to Andrew Zarian of the Matman podcast, officials at NBC Universal and USA Network are not pleased that 2 big stars are moving to the Fox airing SmackDown brand. And the report noted that the officials at the network weren't happy about the fact that neither Lesnar nor Lynch were used on Monday's episode of Raw, unlike John Cena, who appeared on both brands despite working a SmackDown program with Roman Reigns. It was noted that WWE officials reassured NBC Universal and USA Network executives by stating that this was temporary, considering that the WWE draft is coming in early October when WWE will shift the rosters around. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, reports that Fox was very upset that WWE didn't make a big offer to CM Punk to keep him from going to AEW, which he ended up doing last week. Because of this, WWE felt they had to get Lesnar and Lynch on SmackDown right away. Punk has a positive relationship with Fox dating back to the deal he had with WWE backstage, and Fox was among the first to congratulate CM Punk for the big ratings Rampage got last week. Andrew, what were your thoughts on both returns? And I think a very obvious question, but I'll still ask, what was the better of the two for you?
So I start with the Brock Lesnar one because that's the easiest one. Like I'm pretty sure we all expect Brock to dive in and out of WWE every once in a while. I definitely think within this current run he's probably going to win the Universal title at some point. Like it's more than likely going to happen. Like I don't see them bringing him in and just losing back to the Reigns. I can see Reigns getting a win over him first, and then Brock probably winning. Then the next time they go at it, I'm looking at Brock's like. I mean, obviously, they announced the match with Finn Balor for next week and in Jacksonville, and more than likely Reigns is probably going to retain. Probably way more than likely Reigns is going to retain.
More than likely? Okay, you're being kind.
But way more than likely he's going to retain. Yeah, man. Well, Brock, I'm pretty sure they probably going to end up doing that at the Crown Jewel show. I could definitely see them announcing Reigns versus Lesnar the Crown Jewel. Bianca Belair, man, that we've all discussed this at length at some point over the past week. Is probably one of the most baffling decisions that they made as of late. I don't get how you build up somebody from January to where we are now, and actually WWE, they did not do a good job of building up credible babyface champions. Really, they have issues with kind of building up a lot of people, but like I feel like they did a really great job with Bianca, despite giving her the same opponents week after week after week, and she still was able to get over because that she's just that charismatic, and when she go in the ring, talk, she's different. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like Bianca, she's just she's what WWE like in terms of like them trying to build up like a homegrown talent. That's exactly what they want, and for them to have her go out there against Becky Lynch and then get squashed in 20 seconds, just for them to do an eventual match at Extreme Rules, which is looking like as Bianca got the title shot.
Extreme fucking Rules.
Nationwide. They announced that they advertising Bianca versus Becky for the show. I'm thinking like, so if you knew that it was probably going to be, you were probably going to go in the direction, not even if you knew that it was going to happen at Extreme Rules, but if you knew coming out of this the idea was Bianca versus Becky, why wouldn't you just have Bianca beat Carmella and then have Becky come out, confront her? Or if they want to go up the route of WWE or the mindset, because I've heard Bruce Pritchard say this, like as far as like replacements goes, like if you want to replace somebody, they have to be as big a star or right there or with them. That's his mindset as far as like replacements. I was thinking like if they really wanted to do that, how about you give us Bianca versus Naomi? Give us that at SummerSlam. Give us like an 18-minute match. You do that after let Becky Lynch debuts, and then you can continue this whole thing with Naomi that they did with her on SmackDown with Sonya Deville, or you can have her, sort of drift off and do something involving the bloodline, which a lot of people want to see. It's so many different routes they could have taken, but I didn't really think that having her squashed by Becky Lynch was the right one. But like as we seen last night, like I don't really think people like. I mean, just judging by the reaction, it seemed like the crowd was still invested in Bianca. It really did seem like they were still invested in Bianca. I don't know how the Becky Lynch heel thing is going to work, even if that's the way they want to go. Like Becky Lynch is an anti-hero. I don't think that she falls in the really heel category. I feel like you're going to have to do like a lot to get her booed, or you're going to have to bring in somebody that's like a super over baby face. And I don't think there's nobody out there right now, like maybe other than Bianca, that can get to that. But I still don't think that Becky's going to get booed.
Yeah, like that was like this whole week I've done a couple of shows and I'm just still confused on how do you make Becky Lynch, this anti-hero, a heel? Like all the stuff that would regularly make people a heel has only made her popular and only made her more of a baby face. And even her promo, it was a little bit of like a slow burn. They didn't fully go into her being a heel, but even like she tried to get like the heat with the "I apologized for absolutely nothing" line, and people cheered. People cheered. Like this is baffling.
Work,
and it was and so people understand. I'm all for people having ideas, and this is great that this is Becky's idea. But Stone Cold Steve Austin also had the bright idea in 2001 to turn heel and shake hands with Vince McMahon, and that worked out great for him.
See the sarcasm there?
Yes, Top Guy JJ. Do you feel that Raw and USA Network should be feeling like they got the short end of the stick with Becky and Brock Lesnar? With Becky and Brock Lesnar going to SmackDown?
Clearly, yes. I mean, Raw has been treated like the short end of the stick for the past 9 to 10 months. Yes. I mean, the USA Network should feel like, what the fuck did what the fuck did I resign? Like, this has been the worst show in all of professional wrestling, probably with the exception of NWA. But this has been the worst show on network television, period. And this is not even a close call. Like, it's really not even close. Like, it's a shame that you get these two megastars and not one of them. Like, Raw needed this return of Becky Lynch more than anything. Than anything. Like, my God, did we not just see what their Raw Women's Champion was? Like, I mean, come on. They needed this injection more than SmackDown needed any. Like, give SmackDown Brock. I understand the booking purposes for Brock Lesnar, but Becky Lynch was the insertion that Monday Night Raw needed more than anything. This would have completely alleviated Bianca Belair from this disastrous booking, obviously, because she would have came out after Charlotte won, which would have been a fucking pop in itself to see them go face to face. Like, it's baffling, again, why we get on this company, because the baffling choices that they make at the expense of a fucking Bianca Belair. And then USA Network also is feeling the ramifications of it too, because they're not getting anything out of it. So you not only killed the top woman on SmackDown, you fucking shit on USA. It's like a double L. Like, y'all fucking completely fumbled this return. Like, you completely ruined you ruined the biggest female's return of all 2021, bar none. With all due respect to Sasha Banks' return, she was in wrestling for most of the year until she obviously took a step off. But Becky Lynch was something that we have been waiting for more than a year. And not only they put her on the wrong brand, they made her squash somebody that didn't need to be squashed. Becky Lynch does not need a championship to be the most over thing in the women's division. She doesn't need the title. She just needed her persona.
I made this argument, not to interrupt you, I'll let you continue, but
Yeah.
I made this argument. Becky Lynch is not just the most over and most popular babyface on the women's roster. She's the most popular babyface, period, because there's no man equivalent that is as over as Becky Lynch, the man. Like, the only thing that came close is Daniel Bryan, and as we've just talked about, he's going to the other company. So there is no male that even stacked. That's why Roman Reigns has had to feud with John Cena and now Brock Lesnar, and we're talking about The Rock at WrestleMania. Yeah, exactly. They have to bring back some of the biggest stars of all time because there is no male equivalent that's as over as Roman is as a heel, as a babyface. But Becky Lynch is the only person who is as over as a babyface. That's why this is ridiculous.
It's a fucking layup. It's a fucking layup. And the hottest babyface, to your point, that was in wrestling over the past year and a half wasn't for the company. It was Jon Moxley. So it's like, yo, what are y'all doing? And y'all brought back the biggest babyface of all time and John Cena, knowing that shit was only going to last for a couple cups of coffee. And then you bring back the full timer and you make the decision. Yo, sometimes you don't give the employees what they want. Sometimes you got to understand it. This is the position that we're in. We need the number one babyface in all of our company to come back and resurrect the fucking brand that needs it more than life itself. Like, if you have watched Monday Night Raw, I feel sorry for your eyes and your soul, because come on, Becky Lynch would have fucking been the perfect thing for that, because I would not have minded seeing her twice a night on Monday Night Raws because that's how bad they needed it.
I say it would have been cool to see, like JJ said, it would have been cool to see her and Charlotte going at it, or just some type of face off at SummerSlam. And then at that, they do the whole Survivor Series thing, like the brand versus brand. We could have got Bianca versus Becky right then, and then they make that decision.
It's a fucking layup.
However you want to make it. Like, when I look at the Raw Women's division, like, I definitely agree with JJ. They definitely need a kick in the ass, and I think Becky Lynch probably more likely would have been that. But that's we've heard the reports out there of them being a draft. So she's the SmackDown Women's Champion right now, so I don't really think that's going to happen, because I'm pretty sure they wouldn't put the title on unless it was some type of thing about
to be fair, fuck the draft, because the New Day and the Street Profits literally was on TV and they swapped titles. Like, I'm not buying the draft shit at all.
It's more likely now that Sasha Banks goes to Monday Night Raw than Becky Lynch going to
don't
Raw.
Finish a rivalry that was a fucking layup to begin with.
Nope.
And don't finish it. Like,
nope.
These fucking people, and that's probably what's going to happen too. Right, the most unneeded trade over to have Sasha Banks feud with a bunch of fucking people that don't matter. like honestly, I would love to see Sasha and Ripley, but it's like they don't have nothing right now. The storyline is literally in their face with her and Bianca Belair to finish it. They could have had one of the greatest trilogies of matches in wrestling history. And they're like, nah, you know what? We're going to get in our own way. We're going to get in our own way. And this is what we're going to do, because we the WWE. We the big dogs.
They're like, we're good.
Who else is on the Raw Women's division outside of Nikki, Charlotte, Rhea?
Shayna Baszler.
Nia Jax.
Shayna, Nia. Asuka, who we haven't seen in weeks.
Oh, yeah. I think it's good that they keep Asuka on TV, because it seems like with Asuka, bro, like with her, she's always like that break in case of emergency thing.
Asuka needed the crowd. Like Asuka comes out to a crowd, yeah.
Like whenever something goes wrong with the women's division, they like Asuka.
Break glass, let's get Asuka.
Break glass, let's give it to Asuka. They've literally done that to her. Probably majority of her main roster run, like even when she won the SmackDown Women's title, like back in 2018 at the TLC show, like it was like more so of a thing. Like she was just there while Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte were like the focus. Like Asuka was like, "Oh yeah, let's give her the title." And then eventually took it off her. It was like a week before WrestleMania, 2 weeks before WrestleMania. So like I like Asuka. I definitely think it's good that they keep her.
Wow.
I definitely think it's good.
Asuka Chu.
I definitely think it's good that they keep Asuka on TV, man, and like sort of just let people sort of forget about her a little bit, and then if they choose to bring her back and something important, then hopefully it will be something good. But with WWE, it's like I said, 50-50 chance.
Crapshoot. It's a crapshoot for sure.
SP, let me ask you, man. Like, isn't this return of Becky Lynch and all of this heel movement that she's going to try to now do because they're trying to make her a heel? Don't you think now her promos are going to feel more forced and natural?
that's what it kind of felt like last night on SmackDown. It kind of felt like she was doing it slow burn. She was allowing she said she misses the fan. She was allowing them to cheer them, and then there was like that switch where it came off forced for her to try to get a negative reaction, but she got positive reactions. It's not gonna work. Like I'm sorry, people saying, "Oh, you sound like you're saying Becky Lynch is a failure as a heel." I'm not trying to say that, but I am, because I saw Becky Lynch before she came to WWE, and I saw her try to be heel then. Didn't work. Saw her in NXT when she aligned with Sasha Banks when Sasha Banks was the #1 heel. Didn't work. Saw it in 2018. I was in the crowd after SummerSlam 2018 where she's like, "You fans didn't cheer me," and I was like, "Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. Yeah, you people didn't cheer me," and we were like, "Yes, we did. We love you, Becky," and that didn't work either. There are just some people, Sting, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes. There are some of the all-time greats. But guess what? They all couldn't play a heel. They all did not do well whenever they were positioned as heels. And I think Becky Lynch is in that category as well. So,
and to play devil's advocate to what you're saying, it's not calling her failing. It's her character personifies anti-hero. Her character personifies doing anything against what the company is telling her to do. She's built this as the biggest thing in the women's industry. And then you can't mold that. You cannot mold that. That is a natural character. She is literally riding the wave that Stone Cold was waving of being somebody that you cannot tell what to do. She just needs to go out there as the man and speaks on what she feels and just let it be organic. You cannot take the man and make it booked. The man is organic. That is why she became so over, because it was organic. That visual that she had at that brawl before Survivor Series was the most telling thing of her persona change. Like, you can't book that. You can't book that. That's organic. You cannot book that. Sorry.
True. We got in the live chat, Joe Kim Morales of Battle Club Pro saying one of the best podcasts in the world, so knowledgeable. Thank you, good brother. We miss you. We miss you too, good brother.
Where are you, brother? I know you're probably busy as hell, but we miss you, man.
We got Lizzie Stallion saying, so they pay Brock millions to appear possibly for 8 pay-per-views. Bet the recently released stars will be thrilled to hear that sarcasm. We also,
to be fair, that will probably be more matches that Brock Lesnar has had in any prior contract.
That's also a good point. Truly Heel Romeo says, yeah, that was the quickest L. So it's a new EST.
Boo that man. Boo that man.
Oh, we got Fifth Generation Carney saying Becky Lynch being a badass babyface seems much more over than heel Becky. That's for certain. Michael Butler makes a good point. Bianca should have turned heel immediately after she got robbed, hair whipped, and beat down. I
would have been mad at that. Andrew, I wouldn't have been mad at that. You know why? Because this is basically her being screwed the fuck over, and then her coming out to fucking annihilate. Imagine if she would have came out and literally annihilated Becky Lynch on SmackDown that Friday. That would have felt organic because she was screwed over. She got a last-minute title shot. She got squashed. She got surprised, and it came out of anger and demolished Becky Lynch and said, "This is what I would have done to you if I was prepared for you." Like, it would have been... the layups are there. The layups are there. And they just fucking choose to... they want to take half-court shots. And you know what you do with half-court shots, right? You miss most of them.
And speaking of that, we got 100 rubies from Fala B, $2 donation, saying, take this layup. Yes, there's layup. There's layups, and they just chose to take a half-court shot.
Like, the thing is, man, like I definitely was thinking about the Bianca heel turn, right? But I was like, I mean, even though it is an easy choice, I feel like, dude, they've been building her so well as a baby face, just to like switch like that. Like, I mean,
but to do it against the biggest star on, she's the biggest star.
I get that point, but at the same time, if Becky is going to be positioned as a heel, if that's the way they're going,
obviously that's why Bianca's still a face.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But then you come in there and you switch that whole narrative. It's like, but I mean, it just feels like too much of I don't want to say an easy thing, because I mean that would be the right thing to do if that's the case. But like, it just seems like they've been building her so well, man. And just to like just switch her like that, I mean,
Bro, I would have bet
I get both sides, but at the same time, I just prefer Bianca as a
bro. I would have bet my whole paycheck.
Is,
I would have bet my whole paycheck if Bianca came out, beat Becky Lynch's ass, and basically shunned the crowd. Booze would have been fucking nuclear.
Oh, for sure.
Booze would have been nuclear because of who it was being done to. Not because it was being done to the man. It was being done to this indestructible person. It was being done to the man. And then Bianca is proud of herself for doing such heinous shit. And it would have, it's like, or it's easy, man. This is easy.
And this is we got another super chat. Thank you. You guys are awesome. You, my boy Blue, saying thanks for watching WWE so I don't have to. I was watching preseason football and managed to catch
not a bad
Rampage.
choice. Not a bad choice.
Yes.
We do it Rampage, for you. Shout out to my boy Stat King for getting us these cool, getting us the best in the world shirts. You know what I mean? He got us the official shits with the rib joints. You know what I mean? Because them shits are sold out everywhere right now.
They are the top selling t-shirt in pro wrestling tees history. But yes, they're making money. AEW and WWE seems to be finding ways to well, they're still making money, but it just finds ways to baffle us with some of their booking. But
the product is horrible, bro. The company overall, I don't ever think WWE will ever be in a position where they're not making bank. They will always make bank. The product is just ass. Like that's just
it's calling it like it is, man. Like SmackDown is a watchable show. Raw is borderline, basically unwatchable. Are we gonna get into this NXT shit? Because I'm like,
there's a lot that we missed throughout the week. First up, we got it also, SummerSlam had a whole bunch going on besides the returns. Like we said, Roman Reigns defeated John Cena to retain the WWE Universal Championship in a great main event. Brock Lesnar returned to confront him afterwards. Of course, there was the Becky Lynch squash win over Bianca Belair to win the SmackDown Women's title. We also had Bobby Lashley defeat Goldberg by referee stoppage to retain the WWE Championship and attacked Goldberg's son Gage after the match. RK Bro beat AJ Styles and Omos to win the Raw Tag Team titles. Charlotte Flair, which should make our producer happy, defeated Nikki ASH and Rhea Ripley to win the Raw Women's Championship. Damian Priest beat Sheamus to win the US title.
He had to get that in there. I was waiting for that.
We also had Damian Priest beat Sheamus to win the US Championship, and in the match of the night it was Edge who defeated Seth Rollins in a fantastic encounter that was indeed a show stealer. What did you think about that encounter, Andrew?
That was a great match for sure. The best match of the night. I remember when it started off, it was kind of slow pace, but I think it was like not slow pace in a bad way, but like more so they were just building up to the eventual, picking it up. And they had a match that kind of exceeded my expectations. I wasn't expecting it to be bad on any level, but I wasn't expecting it to be that damn good. I was like, okay, they went out there and they tore the house down. So yeah, congratulations to Edge and Seth Rollins on that match. It was something you said that I was that I was thinking about. I had just lost it. Hopefully it come back to me, but it was something funny that you said. So you go ahead.
I hope it comes back. Hope it's good.
When I do that, man.
Over on NXT, the aforementioned NXT, you had TakeOver 36. Samoa Joe defeated Karrion Kross to become the first 3-time NXT champion. Yes, that Karrion Kross. Kyle O'Reilly defeated Adam Cole to win the Undisputed finale. Like we said earlier, Raquel Gonzalez beat Dakota Kai to retain the NXT Women's Championship, and then Kaylee Ray made her official NXT debut. Cameron Grimes beat LA Knight to win the $1 Million Championship, and not only the match of the night, but a match of the year candidate, Ilya Dragunov defeated Walter in an amazing matchup to win the NXT UK Championship, rated by Dave Meltzer, the guy that hates WWE so much to some people. 5.25 stars, one of the highest rated matchups in Wrestling Observer newsletter history.
Ilya out there looking like a peppermint. You said they got
crazy, bro. Crazy, bro.
Oh my god, I was like, his chest looked like raw meat. It was ridiculous. Oh my god, what a match indeed. A match of the year candidate, by far, in my opinion, the WWE match of the year. It was nothing like
absolutely. Once you sink it in, yeah, that's definitely a case, man.
Over on WWE Raw, they did actually one of their highest ratings of the year, 2.067 million viewers.
That's great.
Karrion Kross debuted a new look, like we said before, which was a cross between a gimp and meets Demolition Soldier, as he defeated Ricochet. Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest beat Sheamus and Bobby Lashley in tag team action. You also had The Miz turn on John Morrison following his latest loss to Xavier Woods, and RK Bro had a championship celebration, and Riddle defeated AJ Styles in the main event. I will give them credit; they didn't bombard us with rematches for once on Monday Night Raw. So you got to
matches a week ahead. Look at that.
Exactly.
Look at
that.
At
least we're seeing something for them. And we got another super chat. Thank you, good brother. The True Jaw Josh saying $5 I was supposed to give Baron, but now he's happy, Corbin. So he doesn't need it, which we will get to that. We also missed that as well, but we will get to that shortly. Over on NXT, you had they did 685,000 viewers for a taped episode. Carmelo Hayes beat Odyssey Jones to win the NXT Breakout Tournament. Pete Dunne and LA Knight, Kyle O'Reilly set their sights on Samoa Joe's NXT Championship. Legado del Fantasma beat Hit Road thanks to Elektra Lopez joining LDF's ranks, attacking B-Fab. Andrew, what did you think about Carmelo Hayes getting the big victory, and what title do you see him going after?
I definitely think Carmelo was the right move. The former Christian Casanova. He was doing a lot of good work on the independents, and I think he was working with Limitless Wrestling for a little bit. Like he was making a real good name for himself, man. And I think that's kind of the direction that WWE's kind of be going forward. Like I still think I don't believe the idea that they won't be getting independent talents. I think they will be staying away from the more established independent talent, the people who more so have a name for themselves already, and they'll be looking at guys like Christian Casanova / Carmelo Hayes who have a name for themselves, but more so they like on the up and up. Like they're there, but they're not all the way there. So WWE can take them in, mold them into their style, into the type of wrestler that they see fit. And I think that's the type of guys they're gonna be going after on top of athletes and college basketball players and football players. Like I've even written a couple of articles like with WWE, like they've emailed and got in contact with people that play basketball for Ohio State and California universities and stuff like that. Football, like that's the type of people they going for, on top of looking at wrestlers who don't have that sort of established name that's on the independent scene. But yeah, going back to that, finally answering your question, yeah, Carmelo, I think he was the right choice. Like I think Odyssey Jones is probably the person that everybody was looking at, probably like he probably going to beat him. But I think they did it in a clever way that kept him strong. Like it was just a simple, he got him over, got him down for the 1, 2, 3. I think it was simple and effective. And as far as Tyler, he might challenge for. I really can't call it right now. I can maybe see him going after the North American title, or I can maybe see him going after the Cruiserweight title because he lost to Kushida on his first night. So maybe that was, they want to revisit.
I mean, I would love him versus Swerve, so I'd say the North American Championship might be what I would want him to go for. Over on AEW Dynamite, they did their second highest ratings in Dynamite history since their debut episode, 1.172 million viewers with 620K in the 18 to 49 demo, off the heels of a massive Rampage rating for Punk's debut with 1.129 million viewers. CM Punk had his first promo talking about why he made the challenge to Darby Allin and the aforementioned tease of Daniel Bryan. Lucha Bros defeated Varsity Blondes to move on in the finals of the World Tag Team Title Eliminator Tournament. Chris Jericho put his AEW in-ring career on the line for one more match against MJF at All Out. Malachi Black destroyed Brock Anderson in the main event, and after low blowed Arn Anderson and gave him a black mask. Top Guy JJ, we've seen a lot of people on social media call this one of the weakest episodes of Dynamite in quite some time. What did you think? And do you think AEW put their best foot forward with the massive amount of ratings that they were surely going to get?
Yeah, I have to call a spade a spade. This episode of AEW Dynamite was pretty weak. Like, it was a pretty weak episode. Like, I was waiting for something else to happen besides CM Punk come out. Like, I think that they built this whole episode around the arrival and the entrance of CM Punk and what he was going to do. Like, even the main event, like, I mean, it's kind of like, how y'all going to really put Brock Anderson in a main event? Like, I'm sorry. Like that and I get they trying to make Malachi Black the biggest thing right now, like one of the bigger things right now in AEW, but come on, Brock Anderson, like this story should have happened literally either at the top of the show or at the middle. Like this is not something that you close out the show with, like, because this is the most obvious finish that we were going to get. And I don't like the position that they put Brock Anderson in. Obviously, like this doesn't look good for him. Obviously, he still needs to work. He still needs to do a lot of work. But moving the needle, right? Do I have like a minute to read a certain person's comments?
You can, because we got the Weekly Rub podcast bringing up Booker T and R-Truth's comments on CM Punk. R-Truth commented talking about that he pinned CM Punk when he was, because him and the Miz were hotter than CM Punk during the Summer of Punk when he pinned him at Vengeance 2011. Then you had Booker T saying that CM Punk blew it on his debut on AEW Rampage last week, and saying that CM Punk, all he did was talk about WWE and he blew his promo. I mean, you want to bring it up. You said it before we went on there. You wanted to bring it up. I didn't even put this in my agenda because I didn't even care.
There's a reason why I want to put this. Is why Booker T is so lost in profession. He's so lost in what people are.
I just want to add this in before you go your rant about Booker T. Booker T, that man is under contract to WWE until 2029. I know. I'm prefacing everything, but I need to just read like how much you can miss a complete point that you're trying to make. This is like, I'm going to read a small portion of it, not his whole shit, because he said a lot of garbage. But this part here, I'm going to read, and I need y'all to understand when somebody is so off on their points. Like, I need you to get this. I need you to get what I'm going at right here. I can only imagine if The Rock had the same 21,000 in Miami, Florida. The Rock would have talked about every landmark in Miami that had everybody in Miami frequented. He would have chose the fans going crazy with excitement about CM Punk, chose to talk about the WWE, and that 9 minutes went back so slow when it could have been a party going on in United Center. That's a WWE-esque promo that you're talking about.
Does Booker T know what CM Punk even is?
Did Booker T even watch the promo? That's what
he clearly did. He clearly did, but that just
he didn't. He did not. He did not, because he said that all he did was bring up. He got a clip.
Exactly. He got a. But this CM Punk, a reason why we love CM Punk, Booker T, you fucking idiot. Like, the reason why we love him is because of how raw and authentic he is. He is speaking as a wrestling fan that is a wrestler. He never was the guy that got to an arena and yay, I'm going to talk about I-95. I'm going to talk about the Barclays Center. I'm going to talk about the Brooklyn Museum. I'm going to talk about Atlantic Ave. That has never in CM Punk's life been a promo that existed ever. So you're going to expect CM Punk to come back and debut and have a party? You fucking idiot. CM Punk's fucking career is built on drama, you moron. His career is built on this. And the reason why we follow him is because he speaks the truth, you fucking idiot. It's so astronomically stupid for somebody as prestige as Booker T. He's a wrestling Hall of Famer, clearly. But bro, you have never been over as somebody that cuts promos. You have been a guy that is the other guy, the better guy from Harlem Heat. That was a guy that can go in the ring. And obviously people were noticing a black athlete that can go in the ring. You were never over as any of your promos, bro. The only thing that you have ever been known for right now is your stupid ass shucky ducky quack quack shit. Like, this is the shit that you're over by speaking about. But you're going to bring up CM Punk's like the love of professional wrestling that he left. He left professional wrestling in 2005, and then he fucking came back in 2021. We know what he was talking about, you idiot. We know what he was talking about. You're gonna sit there and talk like he should have talked about every landmark in Chicago. They didn't give a fuck about that. They wanted to hear the truth.
I can't wait for JJ versus Booker T, the next reality wrestling show. I can't wait for it.
This shit really annoyed me because it's like, I understand that he's under contract to WWE, so you need to say shit. You need to say shit.
Someone from reality wrestling in the match. And look, he said, hey, I gotta go to work tomorrow.
I mean, come on, bro. I mean, come on. It really is like, you're really, he took the crate challenge and fell like my man did on the stack of crate that he fell right on his back. Like, he said, that was an epic fail of the scissor kick, bro. Like,
oh my God.
It's like, come on, you're really gonna sit there, you think CM Punk is gonna sit here and talk about fucking landmarks? You think CM Punk was gonna go out there and talk about the fucking Michael Jordan statue? You thought he was gonna sit there and talk about ProWrestlingTees.com on his first promo back in wrestling? Like, you can't be dumber than this. You can't be dumber than this to understand that you're talking about CM Punk. His career has been built on speaking the hot takes. That's been his career. Like, how dumb can you be, bro?
Yeah, I remember when Booker T made the comments about Big E last summer, but he was like, he can't be a serious guy when he's walking around the New Day with the colorful gear. I was like, there you go.
I couldn't take his shit seriously, but this was so dumb. I had to speak on this. This was beyond dumb. You think, you're gonna compare CM Punk's promo to what The Rock would have said? Like, you can't be more off and more stupid in your comments as being somebody in the media ever. Like, you have been in the business and you don't know what the fuck CM Punk was gonna say? Damn, bro. You all the way off, homie. You all the way off.
JJ versus Booker T is something I need to see. I need to see this. This needs to happen.
Oh man, this is the Saturday gospel we come for.
He's gonna. The thing is that he's gonna probably try to speak louder than me and speak about his accolades, but just understand that I can speak just as fucking loud as he does. Like it's so crazy, bro, that he can really sit there and talk about. I had to read that piece right there. It's saying from a perspective where I'm making my comeback and I'm thinking about the other side. That's totally a place that I wouldn't even be going. You never been that over to talk about somewhere else, you fucking idiot. Like, you've never been that guy, like, ever. So why? So if you talk about, he would have came out there and talked about his career in WCW. You think anybody would have gave a fuck? So five time. Nobody would have cared.
We got a $3 super chat donation. All troops. Thank you for saying it. Oh my God.
Hey, bro, not for real though. Like, when you really think about it, for Booker to be caping for WWE the way that he is, especially knowing what they did. Like the WrestleMania 19 thing, and I know he tried to like downplay that shit. Like he'd be like, "Oh, I was all about the business." Like, bro, like we know exactly what that was, and especially that promo Triple H cut on him going into it. Very, very, very racist promo if we call it a spade. But Booker T, he kind of plays it, like, "Oh, I was just about the business whatsoever." But yeah,
bro,
man,
if this promo came from Triple H, I would have 100% understood it.
I don't like saying the term Uncle Tom a lot, but my God, Booker T, you Uncle Tom'd it when you came up with that excuse for not including that Triple H racist story. That's your most famed WWE feud for the wrong reasons. Yeah, and it's like you should have addressed it, and you should have been like, you were upset that they didn't include it in the thing, but don't try to excuse it and say that it was something that it wasn't, because we all know what it was, my dude. You got wrong. You got wrong.
See, the thing that makes it worse is he tries to like again, like oh, it was just a business. I never looked at professional wrestling in that manner. Like, he's openly said these things, and I'm like, there is no way that you don't realize how dirty they did you in that moment. Like, it did that even on commentary. You got Dre Lawler talking about how many times this man been in jail, and you know what I'm saying, just saying like real overly racist shit, like just talking about like calling them like hoodlum and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know people use the excuse of, oh, it was cool, like it was a different time. People always, I like, that's like one of my pet peeves whenever we talk about something racial or anything of the sort. People be like, oh, it was a different time period. What the fuck do you mean it's a different time period? Like, what do you mean?
This was 2003, my dude. Like, what are you talking about?
For me, it was the same promo that was given in WWE. It was about WWE. It had nothing meaningful to it as far as I'm gonna create. Who am I gonna blow up? How I'm gonna make AEW by coming in, being a nice guy, and throwing out freaking ice cream bars. Who gives a damn about that? Everybody cared about that, you idiot. It's like, I will not ever test his wrestling his wrestling savvy. He's obviously a Hall of Famer, and none of us can ever touch him in a ring. But get on this motherfucking microphone. I swear to God, you will get fucking roasted. You will get roasted.
Oh my god! Hey, man, what a dude who say he work at reality wrestling, man.
His last comment. His last comment was, "I'm gonna go."
Booker T on Tru Heel Heat. The people need it.
We are invited Booker T to come on Tru Heel Heat and debate with Top Guy JJ. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. We got Nick Jackson.
That man fired from his job.
We got Nick Jackson with the 199 super chat donation. Tru Heel Heat's my church. This is why I'm here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Appreciate y'all. Appreciate all of y'all with the positivity and understanding why I had to kind of go up against. I apologize, SP3, because I kind of had to go against what he had in this agenda to kind of to get into this shit, because these comments are worse than the new NXT logo.
You spoke your truth, man. You spoke your truth.
You spoke your truth. My boy Blue says JJ about to put Booker out to pasture. We got Fifth Generation Carney saying Booker T is a less funny Barkley. Yes, I that's what I said on social media. Charles Barkley had a great career, but some of his opinions are crap, and that's kind of what Booker T is. That's kind of what Booker is now. But yes, what we missed. I don't know how I go back
Barkley, but Barkley, that's even kind of wrong too, because Barkley's opinions are based on just what he feels about that person. He's making these comments defending WWE. Like it's like, stop the cap. Barkley doesn't do this defending TNT. He doesn't do this defending TNT. Cap. Stop the cap. He doesn't make his comments defending TNT. Booker T is making these comments defending WWE. Like, stop the cap.
Well, Impact Wrestling, Christian Cage was confronted and challenged by Tommy Dreamer until Ace Austin and Madman Fulton interrupted, setting up Ace versus Christian at Victory Road. You had Chris Bay defeat David Finlay in a pretty good matchup. Final hype for Deonna Purrazzo versus Melina at Empower, with Deonna attacking Mickie James for the first time. Over on SmackDown last night, you had Paul Heyman, the Usos, and Roman Reigns were the highlight with their response to Booker T's return. Excuse me. See, I'm still on Booker T. Jesus Christ. Their response on Brock.
Fire shirt, yo. That shirt is fire.
Their response on Brock Lesnar's return, first with the Usos interrogating Heyman about knowing, I love that, about Brock Lesnar's return. Then Roman telling Heyman that he is family and that he loves him. Their family celebration was interrupted by Finn Balor, who challenged Roman for next week, and Street Profits made the save when the bloodline jumped Balor. Becky Lynch said she wasn't sorry for taking advantage of an opportunity at SummerSlam. Bianca challenged her for that night, but Becky turned her down after Selena Vega, Carmella, and Liv Morgan got involved. Bianca beat all three ladies to get her rematch with Becky at Extreme Rules, and we got the debut of Happy Corbin after his fortune turned around when he hit it big in Las Vegas. He had a crazy week. He started with just $35. He turned that into $100. He turned that into a new car. His wife has invited him back in the home. She has ragu beef for him, and yes,
bro, that shit's good, bro. That's some good ass steak, bro.
Not for nothing, y'all. Y'all know on Tru Heel Heat, for the entire history of Tru Heel Heat, how I have ragged Baron Corbin through the mud. This was fucking entertaining. This was entertaining.
It is.
This was entertaining.
It is. It is.
Yo, Big E came out. Boy, Baron, like you can't ruin my mood. I'm a bounce. I'm happy as hell. I'm Happy Corbin. You can't ruin my shit. I'm rich.
Especially considering like the way he's like going full on with it, like not even cutting his hair.
He is embracing it. Like, he's embracing it. I love that.
It's hard not to enjoy something like that when you see somebody like legit going all the way in with it, and then the complete character switch what he is now. Happy Corbin when he got his money back and stuff like, and I'm pretty sure it will come another flip in the story where he probably gonna end up losing all that, and then gonna go right back to broke Baron Corbin or bum ass Baron Corbin.
Man, I miss Pat McAfee. I missed Pat McAfee last night, man. I hope he gets better, man. I hope he gets better.
What did y'all think about Kevin Owens and Corey Graves on comedy? Did you like
I liked Kevin Owens, but I can't stand Corey Graves. Corey Graves is like the person I least like on WWE commentary because he just sounds like he's just repeating verbatim everything that Vince tells him in his ear.
Yeah, man. I used to love Corey Graves on. I used to love Corey on commentary, man. But he turned into the complete yes man, man. Like that's another case of Monday Night Raw ruining somebody. Like it's a sad story, man. Because Corey Graves he used to be so dope on commentary. Something changed, man. Something really changed.
I think with WWE and their commentary style, I think they, of course, if we saying they like to put people in a certain box, they like to, keep you with it. I think honestly, Pat McAfee is probably the first commentator that they've had.
Love Pat McAfee, yo.
He genuinely seems like he's being himself.
He's a fan,
and he's a fan. Like I feel
he's a fan. That's why.
Like we've even heard wrestlers say this. Like WWE, when they're there, like even a wrestler, they sort of lose that passion a little bit. Like they lose that love. Like I've even heard Billie Kay. She had said in the interview, she was like, when she's learned that when she was in WWE, she had to put that passion aside and look at it as a business. And that's not, but that's not how you're supposed to feel about wrestling, bro. Like even though it is a business, you know what I'm saying, you got to look at it like that too. But like you still want to love what you do, and like they kind of strip a lot of personality away from people and like put them in this one box. And that's why some people may not enjoy Corey Graves. I've never been like a big Corey Graves guy, but like I agree with JJ. There was a point when he was like really, really good on commentary. I think it was more so that was when he was with NXT and he was with Tom Phillips, who I also don't get why they let go. That that's how the hell that we passed that now.
That's a whole different subject.
That's a whole nother shebang right there. But yeah, man, like I definitely agree with what JJ said. Like as far as Corey Graves once being probably one of my favorite commentators, more so when he was in NXT, and then once he got moved on, it was like, it's whatever now.
And to answer a question earlier in the chat, I just saw that. Yeah, unfortunately, Pat McAfee is battling COVID. He's battling COVID-19. Michael Cole made the announcement on SmackDown, so just hopefully that he's one of the dudes that doesn't have that many symptoms, and he's able to return next week.
Yeah, Pat he was putting some updates on Twitter. He was like, he had a bad fever, and he was just out in just out of it a little bit, and then he said he was like starting to come to. Like last night, and he's still dealing with it, but just from his updates, it seemed like he was doing way better than what he was doing when he first announced the news.
Yeah,
he was fully vaccinated and he tested positive. So lucky nobody in his family or his friends got it, but wishing him the best and a speedy recovery so he comes back very, very soon, because he was missed, especially when Nakamura came out.
1 week. He's been gone 1 week and I missed him dearly, yo. Pat is the best thing. He's the best commentator in all of WWE, bar none.
They don't strap him down. Like they don't put him in
I think that's probably part of what he signed up for. He's like, I need to be me. I need to be me. Yeah. Like, I need to be me. Like, don't give me a script. Don't give me a script.
Ain't nobody else out there sitting on Michael Cole's neck doing Shinsuke Nakamura entrances. Nobody else is doing that, bro. Nobody else is doing that. But you want to know what's funny, dog? Like, I really think, like, Michael Cole even said it. He went on Pat McAfee's show. Like, I really think he changed Michael Cole's career as far as like giving him like a kick in the ass a little bit.
Probably
like,
reignited his passion.
Michael Cole was like sort of in that same sort of vein with Corey Graves, like so formulaic, like WWE style, and like Pat McAfee came in and he like really, like JJ said, took his passion and brought it back, man. So like Pat McAfee, I really think that's gonna be a guy that they need to keep around for a long time, and maybe they should consider doing that for all their commentators. Like, bro, you want to know who I want to hear on commentary without like the WWE like S stuff, like Byron Saxton. I genuinely wonder how he would be if he wasn't so all the fucking time. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just curious.
He's another E drone. He just says anything that's said in his ear.
I think Byron Saxton is the worst commentator in the entire industry right now.
Damn.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to hear anything being pushed for Byron Saxton.
Not necessarily being pushed, but more so of like, because obviously they have a certain thing that they want him to do, which is the happy-go-lucky commentator. I just wonder how he would be if he was just, just regular himself. Like,
let off the reins.
We don't really see a lot of black commentators in WWE anyway. So like, I try not to,
If anybody's familiar with this, if you live in New York, if you live in New York, he reminds me of Mike Woods on Channel 5 The Weatherman. He is just so stale. He is so stale. Like, he is like, his outfits makes it worse. but he is such a he doesn't bring nothing to the table commentary wise. So that's why I'm not really.
Like Andrew said, he's an African American. I'm willing to give him a chance, and he didn't have the decline of Corey Graves. So I think Corey Graves is worse because Corey Graves showed that he can actually be good, and he's fallen. Where Brian Saxton has just told the company line because he is African American. We don't get a lot of chances, so he got to toe that line a little bit more than Corey ever had to toe.
He's Booker T in commentary right now.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. That's too far.
That's
too far.
Too far. You crossed the line, sir. AEW Rampage was the other show last night. You had the Lucha Bros defeat Jurassic Express to face the Young Bucks in a steel cage at AEW.
The crowd was asleep.
Well, not for this match. They were up for this match. Mainly because Giannis Antetokounmpo was in the front row. The NBA Finals MVP was the hottest, was the most livest fan in the front row, going crazy for this matchup. This was fantastic, a fantastic opener on Rampage. One of the best matches of the week since Monday. And now the Lucha Bros will verse the Young Bucks inside of a steel cage for the AEW World Tag Team titles at All Out, which should be it bonkers. Miro attacked and mauled Fuego del Sol and ripped his mask off, leading to Eddie Kingston coming down for a brawl to set up the TNT Championship match at AEW All Out. And we also had Christian and Frankie Kazarian beat Kenny Omega and Brandon Cutler in a tag team main event. Not much to see on this episode outside of the opener, but what an opener it was. And Giannis popping for AEW made AEW look big time. So that was all good things there. WWE news now. We had, during a new interview with Ariel Awani for BT Sports, WWE president. y'all have killed me about 8 times on this episode.
You really gotta do Byron. Like he would have got the Byron developmental pick though. He didn't even find the Byron content. He got the Byron Saxton developmental WWE.com photo shoot.
On JJ saying Byron is the Booker T of commentary, Booker T voice. Tell me he didn't just say that.
I did. I definitely did. I ain't taking it back either.
Nick Khan confirmed the rumored overhaul to NXT and said it's coming in the next few weeks. He said, we're doing a complete revamp on NXT led by Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, who is really one of the architects of the original NXT.
Bro!
So what we found is probably why we did the tryout.
Romeo's undefeated.
Yo, what the fuck is that?
He is undefeated.
Yo, Romeo, bro. Romeo's a part of the internet trolls that just wins.
He definitely. I'm telling you, Romeo got a burner account with like different memes. He just be sending them. I'm telling you. Romeo definitely one of them. It ain't over. He got that turnaround. What is that?
He said it's probably why they did the tryout in Las Vegas over the weekend. What we want to make sure is easy for folks who want to be for WWE superstars is figuring out how to become WWE superstars. So if you think of the life of an elevated athlete throughout their career, the opportunity to go play somewhere has always been easy. Being able to play somewhere is not. That's what's hard. But if you're an amazing high school football player, colleges come after you and you get recruited. You go into their system and either you make it or you don't make it. And again, all that takes to get there, very difficult, but the system, not difficult from my point of view. So we want our system to be an easy system where people who want to be superstars, they know how to get to us and we can get to them. On when NXT rebrand is coming, in terms of an NXT rebrand, he said, look for it in the next couple of weeks. It's going to have a whole new look. It's going to have a whole new feel. And we believe a lot of the indie wrestlers, if you will, have come through our system and in our system with SmackDown and Raw now. We don't want to just keep doing the same thing. We want to look elsewhere for great young talent. And he says it's going to change the look, the production of the show. Everything's going to change. What's your thoughts on the new logo, Andrew, and these comments from Nick Khan?
NXT about to be real bright. That's what it's looking like. The logo, like I actually saw I actually saw a tweet last night. I gotta look at it, but they like broke down like why the logo is bad, like from like a designer standpoint, and that was like a really informative thing. I was like, I think that was some cool shit, the way they broke down like why the logo is like shit in a way. So like, but I mean, as far as like them using like more so hip hop music now, I think that's kind of a different feel opposed to what Triple H usually does in NXT with the same rock. Like, I mean, that part of it I do like, because I got tired of hearing all that and all that bullshit. Like, I mean, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to different types of genre music. I like all types of flavors, but like, it was just, I think it's something different that they bring it to the overall genre NXT. But like, but like, yeah, the logo. I mean, for real, but I'm being honest, bro. I don't give a fuck about the logo. Like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and I'm not saying that in the sense of like, I still think it's a bad logo, but like, I'm just talking about like, do I genuinely give a fuck about what the logo is? I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being, you know, I'm just being real.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like a
logo. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like a cross between Living Color and the Rugrats logo.
Yeah, let's see. Hey, JJ, keep it up on the screen. Keep it up on the screen. Like the person who did the video, they was like they did like a whole breakdown of like why the logo is bad. Because like if you look at it from like a certain distance, the X doesn't look like an X. It looks like a part of like.
It's NXT. We're having fun.
Even Heel Steven saying, I got the Wild and Crazy Kids vibes with the new NXT logo. Stan King says, just said on Fusion of Honor when I was recording with Nez, can't wait to see how Romeo digs deep to find a way to say this NXT logo is amazing and isn't absolute BS.
It ain't amazing. It definitely ain't amazing. I wouldn't go that far.
He said, Romeo says, the logo is a blank canvas filled with new paint, a metaphor for the new NXT. I get it.
Hey, bro, I was dying at JJ making the voice, the kitty voice.
It's NXT. Welcome to the new NXT on Tuesdays on the USA Network.
But no,
yay!
The NXT product, I definitely think it's about to be like very bright. Like it's gonna be something. Like what
NXT is about to be fun.
It's about to be fun and new and awesome.
That show, that's the September 14th show, right? Like
yes, I think that's the official one that isn't taped. That's that's gonna be live with the wedding, with the Index wedding.
What a start!
Exactly, the new generation. Well, we got about almost 30 people watching us across all the platforms. Remember to drop a thumbs up on this video if you're watching it on YouTube right now. Share this video with your friends. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. If you like our spicy takes, if you like rants like Top Guy JJ's rant on Booker T, you can get more of that every single Saturday with our weekly podcast we are going to reality of wrestling. We are challenging Booker T. It's happening. But yes, speaking of what Nick Khan said, the Wrestling Observer newsletter reported that WWE is no longer looking at independent talent for scouting purposes, like Andrew said earlier for the company. Although it was suggested this will eventually change over time as WWE has gone back and forth in the past, the feeling is that companies like AEW can have all the independent names. The company is planning to scout by looks and not because wrestlers have got themselves over elsewhere. Instead, they'll teach people with the right look how to be wrestlers. It was noted that WWE isn't the only industry that does this, as everything from movies to TV and even local news scout based on looks. WWE plans to bring in more athletes and do more tryouts like what they recently had in Las Vegas going forward. Top Guy JJ, what do you think about WWE no longer scouting independent talents?
I mean, WWE, this is not 1999. You got to understand that. I mean, anybody that comes from any form of talent have been in another wrestling organization, whether it's local, independent, somewhere else. There are more wrestling promotions than they have ever been. So you think you're just going to get somebody that graduated straight out of college and just going to be like, oh, here, you're going to come to the Performance Center and spend 5 years there, and I'm actually not going to get on live shows and get in front of crowds and see how they can craft their character. This ain't going to last long. I give this about 2 months. This ain't going to last long. I mean, they think they can stick to their guns and do some dumb shit like this. But understand it's just 2021 again and not 1999, 2000. The scouting, that OVW ain't the only place for talent no more, bro. Mm-hmm. It ain't the only place anymore. There's way more organizations that actually gives them compensation and actually gives them money and gives them a chance to get merchandise and actually gets other sales and gives them time on a microphone in front of live people. This actually happens now in other places other than the WWE.
So we will see how that works out for WWE moving forward. Speaking of that, Samoa Joe spoke with our good friend Alex McCarthy this week about the directive for signing new talent. He says, as for the directive, there's been a directive and they do come straight from Vince McMahon. Vince says, hey, this is what we want, but the directives is weird. They've been around for forever. I worked for WWE in developmental when I first started in California, and those directives existed, but they change. It changes back to the needs of the company. It's funny, I read articles, I know exactly what you're talking about. I read the outrage about the directive, and I'm like, this is nothing different. Then next week, the directive will be different. I think at this point, the track record of NXT and the hiring process has shown that, and there have been different cycles where different types of athletes come in. Everything from independent talents come to straight up athletes. These directors change, and they shift basically based on what the company needs are at that time. Fightful Select has more details on Pete Dunne's contract status with the company. According to Fightful, WWE recently offered Dunne a contract extension, though the length of the extension reportedly varied among different sources. However, an anonymous WWE rep did indeed confirm that the extension has been offered. Do you think Pete Dunne re-signs with WWE, Andrew?
Oh, for sure. I definitely think Dunne is sticking around. Like I really don't have like no in-depth explanation, but I just think he's, I mean I could see him going elsewhere because like I mean if AEW is looking for that next big like star from the UK, Anthony Ogogo could be that, but I feel like he's not. When you comparing him and Pete Dunne's in-ring skill is not even, and I don't like no disrespect to Kip Sabian, but I don't think he's going to be that guy. So if AEW is, or maybe not, it's other places to work, it's Impact, ROH, but we just looking at sort of the two nationally televised companies. So we just gonna narrow it down between those two. If he was to leave the WWE and go there, he could possibly be that, that European star, that star from that British star that they're looking for. But like I don't know why I just kind of see Dunne sticking around in WWE. He'll probably end up taking the UK title from Ilya at some point later down the line. Now that Ilya's in the US, so not full time, but he's here.
I think he might be the guy to beat Samoa Joe for the NXT championship. I think that might be his next goal to get. We got Eric Carter joining us in the live chat. Welcome. Hit that subscribe button. Whole bunch of great content going on. A lot of good stuff that we're talking about here. According to PW Insider, the current plan is to have Johnny Gargano be the top heel for NXT moving forward, with Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong also set to be big players on that side of the alignment chart. This is off of the heels of losing their top two heels in Adam Cole and Karrion Kross after TakeOver 36. In more NXT news, Wrestling Inc. reports that one fan who wished to remain anonymous was told to leave after tweeting live spoilers of the latest NXT tapings. The fan said they regularly attended tapings over the past few years and did not get any warning before they had to leave. In addition, Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net noted that his correspondent was removed from the tapings, with the contributor approached and told that a producer saw him texting on camera and had been watched for a while. The person who approached the fan had a photo of the fan using their phone. So NXT.
Can I just add in this real quick?
Go ahead.
I think that is like the dumbest thing from a writer / journalist, anybody that's in that position. That is so stupid. Like, especially considering that NXT used to be taped and spoilers got out all the time. And you want to know what? The show was actually good, so people tuned in anyway because you wanted to see exactly what happened. I remember when they did the title switch when Ciampa won the title, and I remember the spoilers got out. People tuned into the show because they wanted to see like how it actually
same
happened.
Thing with Keith Lee when he became double champion. That got leaked out.
Exact same thing that got leaked out. And people
guess what? People watched
because they wanted to see how it actually happened. Like if you just present a good show, then it won't matter. Like what spoilers get out. Like I really don't understand the whole kicking people out because they're tweeting spoilers thing. Like it just really doesn't make sense to me at all.
Biggest mistake in wrestling history happened when. Yeah,
you go, JJ.
I was gonna say biggest mistake in wrestling history happened when WCW spoiled Monday Night Raw's results and everybody tuned into Raw to see it happen.
Yeah, when Mick Foley won the WWF Championship. Yes, one of the most famous in history. More NXT news. According to PW Insider, there has been a push from WWE for Walter to be featured on NXT TV more often after his match with Ilya Dragunov. Yeah, I don't think so.
I was saying to Jay, I'm pretty sure y'all have heard him in interviews. He's like so adamant about like I'm not about to come over here and move here full time
and get ruined
Like honestly, I think if he stayed in NXT, I think that would be I think it would work. Monday Night Raw, nah.
Yeah, and they can't pay him enough in NXT to come to the US and live full time. So yes, the famous Vince Dikembe Mutombo.
Fucking have Walter come to Monday Night Raw and beat Akira Tozawa in matches.
Bro, wait, so I remember when he debuted on Raw and he faced Seth Rollins. Didn't he lose?
No, he lost at the Survivor Series. Series.
No, but remember he did face Seth Rollins on that show, and it was a DQ. It was a DQ.
Overseas.
Yeah. But I mean,
anyway, moving on. Volta ain't coming to the. He ain't coming to the roster. That ain't happening.
He ain't coming. Sorry. All the fans.
He know better.
Wrestling Inc. reports that on certain sections of WWE Shop website, Edge is listed as a Raw superstar instead of SmackDown, so it could be a sign that he will be switching brands during the whole draft. According to PW Insider as well, the babyface turn of John Morrison is a new direction going forward, and he will not end up reconciling with The Miz, and that they're gonna do a babyface push for him apparently.
We're not gonna sit here and praise Edge like he ain't stopped Grand Guerrero from getting a bag on Dynamite. We just not gonna gloss over that.
Apparently Gangrel got paid still.
Yeah. I mean, but I'm trying to be funny about it. But more so,
I'm telling you, you're talking to wrestling fans, bro. You're talking to wrestling fans. They gonna take that shit to heart.
The fact that he was supposed to debut. On Dynamite with the whole thing, I think that would have been. Well, I don't know how they necessarily.
Bro, that shit would have been a one-off appearance.
Yeah, I know.
I would have liked it. I would have liked it.
I like Edge's shit way more. Sorry, not sorry.
Hey, I would have liked it
way better.
I would have liked it if we got the blood. If we got the blood spitting out, I would have been down for it. The Wrestling Observer newsletter. Speaking of that,
I marked out to Edge. I would have been like, okay, that's cool with Gangrel.
I would have marked out to Gangrel as well. Reported that there were multiple changes made to this week's Dynamite, including Gangrel not being used. He was intended to appear on the show somewhere, and it was canceled due to Edge using the Bruise entrance last weekend during SummerSlam. AEW also noted that Gangrel was paid anyway, as if he had been appeared on the show. Also, 2.0 were supposed to have key roles on the show, but Matt Lee's wife gave birth to their first baby. Congratulations.
Nice.
And resulting in Tony Khan giving him the week off. However, another change would also have involved a match that was planned to be advertised late but was canceled due to two people set for the match tested positive for COVID-19. Neither had symptoms, but AEW found out about it and they ended those plans. And Tony Khan said COVID is just a reality of sports now, and sometimes people miss big shows or big games. And Khan also said that he knew the episode.
Yo, everybody's failing the crate challenge.
He knew the episode could be a larger than usual audience due to see.
I can't.
And so he wanted to showcase the biggest names he could, but realized that due to changes, the show wasn't going to produce the match quality he wanted outside of Orange Cassidy and Matt Hardy and the Lucha Bros and Varsity Blondes. During the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter, it was noted that, speaking of what Andrew said earlier about AEW deals, Chris Jericho's deal is set to expire in a year and a half. Jericho signed with AEW in January 2019, and it was for 3 years. However, there is a 1-year option on the contract, so Jericho could remain with the company into 2023. And the latest Wrestling Observer Radio has also noted that the upcoming Chris Jericho cruise, and if AEW talent will be involved, it was noted that there will likely be AEW wrestlers on the cruise, but with split rosters due to episodes. Yep, episodes of TV in October, and it was noted that an episode of Rampage could happen on the tour. The cruise runs from October 21st to 25th, and AEW recently announced an episode of Dynamite for Orlando on the 23rd, so this means there will be some wrestlers working Dynamite and others on the cruise. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, the plan was always for Jon Moxley to face Kojima at the All Out event. The reason Moxley had been cutting promos about Hiroshi Tanahashi was to make people think it would be him while building something for later. Moxley initially asked Tony Khan for a program with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and that was always supposed to be Kojima. And speaking of that, New Japan Pro Wrestling has announced 4 matches for their upcoming New Japan Strong Autumn Attack tapings for September 25th and 26th. On the 25th, Minoru Suzuki will versus Fred Rosser. Will Ospreay will versus Carl Fredericks. And on the 26th, Minoru Suzuki and Lance Archer versus Tom Lawler and Royce Isaacs. And Leo Rush versus Taji Ishimori. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Ishimori. Who do you think wins that one between Rush and Ishimori, Andrew?
I really can't. I mean, I can see Leo Rush taking it. Like I was gonna touch on him, like saying he's retired and stuff. Like I know that he still obviously has contracted dates with New Japan that he has to finish up. But I just find it real hard to believe because I feel like they're gonna throw a lot of different matchups at him, and that is going to reignite that that flame again. Like I just can't see him permanently staying retired. But if he does like truly come out of this and like he says he's done, like then I'll know that he's probably more than likely checked out on wrestling. Like even the fact that AEW wanted to give him a deal and like let him go have the surgery and just sign him just to, when he comes back, like, dude, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we all deal with shit differently. You know what I'm saying? So I can't speak on that personally, but like AEW, they still wanted him in there. And then the fact that he was able to work with New Japan and work the independents and still do his music and stuff like that. Like he had it ready made, but I mean, like I said, we all deal with shit differently, and certain things hit us all differently. So he's deal with it, but I'm glad he's going to be back in the ring. He was good during New Japan Resurgence 2 weeks ago, so hopefully he's going to be continuing on in wrestling. And hopefully when this whole pandemic calms down, we see him in Japan proper in the junior heavyweight division. Impact Wrestling, the Wrestling Observer newsletter, had some big news and reports that Braun Strowman is likely heading for Impact Wrestling once his non-compete clause is up from WWE. Strowman was hinted at by Scott D'Amore during a recent Twitch stream where D'Amore mentioned Braun for Glory, and this was the same stream where Buddy Matthews was teased for this week's Before the Impact, but that never came to pass. So take this rumor with a grain of salt. But Copback JJ, what do you think about Braun Strowman or Buddy Murphy showing up in Impact Wrestling?
I mean, I guess it'll be a nice moment for Braun Strowman, but it's not something I care about. I mean, it's not something that I'm excited for. I'm more excited for Buddy Murphy, because I know he will put on some pretty good matches. He will put on some awesome matches, but I would love to see him and Chris Bay go at it. There's matches that I believe that Buddy Murphy can have in Impact that would be stellar. Braun Strowman only has Moose, and that's like literally it to me. Morris, whatever, Morrissey. Whatever they name him over there. But other than that, there's nothing for him over there, so I'm not excited at all.
Well, there may be. Though.
He might have the draw, Sammy Callahan that can also have pretty. Well, someone
from his past has also been teased to show up in in either Impact Wrestling or AEW, and I'm talking about Bray Wyatt. Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer newsletter said that expectations is that Bray Wyatt would be signing with AEW since his when his non-compete clause is up. But in a recent appearance on Sunday night's main event, Meltzer added that Impact Wrestling is really after Wyatt as well, though the belief is that Wyatt will eventually choose to sign with AEW. If you're Bray Wyatt, do you sign with AEW or Impact, Andrew?
I mean, like if you're looking at for Bray Wyatt, like I never thought Bray Wyatt was like this fantastic in-ring worker. Like I don't think that's his forte. Like I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler, but I just don't like. But when I think of Bray Wyatt, I'm not thinking about in-ring work. So if I'm thinking about like him trying to present this sort of cult character or something along those lines, you would want to go to the place that has the better production for that, and that's obviously AEW. So I'm gonna have to roll with AEW on that one. Like I feel like. I know there have been people, even Uno and John Silver and Alex Winter, they've all publicly spoken, like loudly spoken, that they don't want any more members of the Dark Order. They don't want any additions. They don't want anybody to try to fill Brody Lee's shoes. Like I've heard Preston Vance say that the only thing that should be done as far as somebody taking that spot is his son, and that's like 10 years from now, 7 years from now. Like if you were to slot anybody in that position, you can't find somebody better than one of his real life best friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you had to narrow it down, only people I'm looking at that could possibly take over the Dark Order that I think people would be intrigued in is, of course, Brody Jr. But that's like,
it's only a decade from now.
Not only only a decade from now. You got Bray Wyatt, and I think a sleeper choice that people really sleeping on is Anna Jay. Like, she how Brody Lee was like really speaking big on her and recruited her in, and like I think he told somebody during the interview, he was like, "Don't let the wrestling business ruin her" or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I think she's a sleeper pick. But like again, if you were to choose anybody that's going to take over that spot and sort of be that sort of de facto leader for Dark Order, like you can't get no better than than Bray Wyatt or Wyndham Rotunda or whatever he's gonna go by.
Yes, that would be very interesting. A great story to be said, at a feud with Bray Wyatt and Hangman Page for the love of Dark Order or something like that. There's a lot of intriguing ways they can bring them in. And we got Stat King here saying, if I'm Bray, I go to Impact Wrestling.
Stop this cap, yo. Cut the shit, yo. It's a Bray Wyatt. Yo, stop it. Both of y'all. Andrew and Stat, stop it. Whoa. Cut the cap. Cut the cap.
What?
Bray, no, Bray and like, no. This is absolutely fucking not.
He didn't say that.
I know he did. You entertained it for like 36 seconds, and then you made the right call and said, "Hey, stop the cat, stop the cat." Bray Wyatt, stop the cat, stop the cat. Stop the cat.
Everybody is feeling this great challenge.
Stop. I get Bray. I get Braun. Bray, stop it. Stop it. Stop it now.
Final news notes. We got to send our best wishes to Jay Briscoe. He was absent from ROH Glory by Honor due to COVID protocol. He had to miss due to the protocol, so hoping he is doing well. And then also Minoru Suzuki US World Tour got some matches announced this week. GCW highest in the room on. To explain, Andrew, we have to do stick figures for any New Japan stars because we got copyright claim from New Japan for using. Japan,
bro, they are so petty with that. Like,
yes,
but you know how many people they've hit them with the different claims just for gifts on Twitter. I'm like, dude,
yes,
that's how most of people found out about New Japan in the first place. I'm like, why would you hinder your product like that? That's how so many people, like even back in 2017, 2016, bro. That's how so many people like really got into New Japan and started subscribing to NJPW World because they saw the gifts and videos online and shit. And like now you taking away like that's like one of the most craziest decisions I've ever seen. Like that's where like a majority of their Western fan base came from, Twitter. Like
yeah. Exactly, but it started a running gag on our show where we have stick figures for all the stars. I don't know if Romeo has any others in the background because we've had stick figure Tanahashi, we've had stick figure Shingo, we've had stick figure Kota Ibushi. The latest I do like his stick figure Minoru Suzuki. That one is a very good job there. But he's gonna be versing. Yes, he's gonna. He's going to be versing Jonathan Gresham in GCW. Their stick figure Hiromu Takahashi. He's going to be
That's a good one.
Minoru Suzuki is also going to be versing Homicide in New York City for GCW. GPW has him versing Davey Richards, and WCPW has him versing Daniel Garcia. So a whole bunch of big matches. And then finally, we have the big shows this weekend from NWA. See their stick figure Tanahashi there.
My favorite one is the worst one of all of them is stick figure Shingo. Stick figure Shingo Takagi.
Where is that?
That shit is fucking awful, yo.
It just looks like their stick figure Shingo. Their stick figure Shingo.
Take the mask.
Yo, bro. Yo, you can't make this shit up, bro. You can't make this shit up.
Awesome stuff. So NWA Empower is going to be tonight. NWA 73 anniversary tomorrow. They got the big women's invitational club with Lady Frost, who's going to be the number one entrant. Tootie Lynn, Chelsea Green, Jamie Single, Debbie Malenko make her return to pro wrestling. Bianca Carrillo, Genocide, Thunder Kitty, Masha Slamovich, one of our favorites we've had here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, and Kira Hogan. The winner is going to get a shot at the NWA Women's World Championship at the 73rd anniversary. You're also going to see Sky Blue versus Christy Jane. You're going to see Paula Mayfield versus Kenzie Page in a battle of the brands. It's going to be NWA's Kylie Ray versus Triple H's Chica Tormento versus AEW's Diamante. NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament is going to be the Hex or Hell on heels versus Red Velvet and Kylie King of AEW. You're also going to see in the NWA Women's World Tag Team Tournament, Hell on Heels versus the Hex. You're also going to see the Freebase versus Kylie Ray and Red Velvet. Those are the tournament matches there. And the two matches we're going to predict here for the NWA World Women's Championship, it's going to be Layla Hirsch of AEW versus the NWA's Camille. Who do you think wins this one, Andrew Thompson?
Camille's winning for sure, 100%. They're not dropping the title. They're not taking the title off her no time soon.
Yeah, I mean, that size advantage was ridiculous on that episode of Dynamite, but I think that, Camille's going to win. I think Layla Hirsch is going to have a great performance and stand out on this card because she has a different feel and a different wrestling style from a lot of the other ladies on the card, but I think that Camille gets the victory here. Who do you got, Top Guy JJ?
Yeah, I really like legit Layla Hirsch, man, but this ain't the match for her, bro. I like her. I really like her. Like, I think she's going to be like somebody to reckon with in the next few months, but this ain't it. This ain't the match, bro. Not against Camille.
And then for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Championship, the match that's been hyped the most because it's been on Impact on Access TV, it's going to be Deonna Purrazzo defending the championship against Melina. Deonna Purrazzo, it's Deonna 2 belts right now, holding the AAA Reinas de Reyes Championship, but she's going to be versing a 5-time women's champion who's won titles in the WWE before, and she is being, assigned this role by Mickie James. Who wins this one, Melina versus Deonna? Top Guy JJ?
Fuck out of here. The virtuoso all day. The best thing about this whole thing is if Melina still does her entrance. Like, other than that, like, no.
Camille wins.
She wasn't a good wrestler then, and she ain't a good one now. Sorry. Damn. Not sorry.
Damn. All right. You just shooting all over the place. Andrew, who you got?
Bitch, finger guns.
Probably, for sure, Deonna Purrazzo. But this run that she's had since she left WWE, like, she's been like killing it. That's like an understatement. Like, she's definitely one of those examples of post WWE success. Like, they didn't know what the hell to do with her. And then, like, she got a little bit of freedom, and now she doing her thing.
I think Andrew got an interview coming up soon.
Doing a thing.
I'm telling you, like, if I could, Impact PR don't be sliding me those, man.
I'm just busting shit to Melina, but she ain't beating the virtuoso, bro.
No, definitely not.
Now we're all in agreement there, Deonna.
I thought you were talking about Deonna Purrazzo.
Andrew was talking about Deonna. This one, his mind is still on Melina.
I mean, he was starting. I thought we all picked Deonna, and I thought he was trying to give Melina some compliments or some shit.
He was talking about Deonna
the whole time.
Okay, all right. I apologize. I was about like, you got to be fucking kidding me with this Melina love. Like, what?
He tried to take shots at me off the rip.
He's just waving his gun everywhere. Like
he's been such a nice guy, and I was like, is he really giving Melina love right now too? Like,
Jesus,
I was talking about Deanna the whole time.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, the Virtuosa, baby. Yeah, see, Virtuosa all the way, man.
And then tomorrow, 73rd anniversary for NWA World Television Champion Tyrus and Jordan Clearwater and the Masked Man will verse the Pope and the End. You also got a battle royal with the winner becoming the new number one contender for the national championship. The Brawl in the Lou, Tom Lawler versus Crimson versus Tim Storm. You've also got the NWA Women's World title on the line. The winner of Camille versus Layla Hirsch will verse the winner of the Invitational Cup at Empower. NWA World Tag Team titles, La Rebellion, versus Aaron Stevens and Kratos. You got the national title, James Storm versus Chris Adonis. The two matches we're going to predict for this card, a dream match of sorts, is going to be Mickie James' first match since leaving WWE, and she's going to go one-on-one with Kylie Ray. Who do you think wins this one, Andrew?
I don't know why, but I can see Mickie putting over Kylie, and that I can see that more so being her decision. More so of like I want to put, so sort of the next crop over. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go with Kylie Ray on that one.
I'm gonna go with Mickie James only because I believe that Mickie versus Deanna is gonna happen at Bound for Glory. I feel like that's why we've been seeing all the promo segments between them, and you should keep Mickie strong going into that big matchup, especially if NWA and Impact are going to be working more in the future. Who do you got, Top Guy JJ, Mickie or Kylie?
I think Drew, you got the right mindset with Kylie Ray, with the younger talent going over. But I think in this stance, Mickie James needs to give NWA the women's power that this, pun intended, power. And they need this bad. They need a star from that side pretty bad. I mean, they got Camille and everything, but they need a star. Like, they need somebody to really put them in the forefront to get them some notoriety. Because, with all due respect, Camille ain't doing it yet. But Mickie James would. And that would probably be, if you get Mickie James to then put Camille over later on, would look really nice for that women's division. Especially
them losing Thunder Rosa too. That's
right. Yeah, right.
That's rough.
They need someone to kind of fill that spot, and Mickey's like the perfect person right now, and she's gonna remain with the company because her husband is at the top of it and in creative, and he's in the main event. Nick Aldis will defend the NWA World Heavyweight Championship against Trevor Murdoch in a title versus career match. It was at the last pay-per-view for NWA. Trevor Murdoch was screwed out of the championship. He should have won. He had the pinfall, but he was disqualified by the referee, and now he puts his career on the line against Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis has been NWA World Heavyweight Champion for almost 900 days. So who wins and walks out the chase with the NWA World Heavyweight Championship? And of course, we should also mention one of the greatest NWA World Heavyweight Champion will be in attendance. The Nature Boy Ric Flair will be in attendance, and he probably will be somewhat involved in this matchup. So who wins, Aldis versus Murdoch? Top Guy JJ.
Peace to Trevor Murdoch. Trevor Murdoch is not the dude to dethrone Nick Aldis. Get the fuck out of here with all of this. Murdoch has been real. You could test Jim Cornette's theory with the fried chicken on your back.
Jesus! Why'd you have to bring that up?
You could test this theory, but yeah,
it's been real. It's been real.
It's been real.
You're wrong for that. Andrew, who you got?
Aldis for sure. It is no chance. Like for real, bro. Like I think Nick Aldis, like, he likes being a big fish in a small pond. I think a part of him like really enjoys that shit. Like I would be curious to see how he would be presented or how he would fit in within like a major company. Like that's what I said. I think he really likes being like that big name, like in a really small pond of talent. So like he feels like a really big deal. It's smart by him, to be honest with you. But like I think he just a little part of me think he ducking like a little bit, like the fear of what could happen if he were to go to a major company and might feel like it might be underwhelming. But like Trevor Murdoch, like he was going to retire last year.
True.
He was going to retire, so I think that this probably just going to be his, a formal send off, and he going to get the big the deuces. So yeah,
deuces.
Nick Aldis for sure.
I'm gonna say Nick Aldis because I think he's gonna drop the title to the 17-time, 72 years old Ric Flair is gonna beat Nick Aldis.
They're gonna try to get a headline: Ric Flair, NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Yes, I think they're gonna do it. They gotta do something drastic to get attention, and I think that's gonna be it. So I think they're gonna set it up here. But that is all.
That shit would be horrible.
Ric Flair, 72 years old, bro. He gonna be with the shits.
Real quick. That's a complete joke. That shit would be god awful. Don't nobody want to see that. Thank you, Romeo. Don't nobody want to see that, bro. Ric Flair stay on the outside, but no, I'm pretty sure with Rick, they probably gonna have him come out and present the, you know what I'm saying, do the whole. The title and all that good stuff.
I can see Trevor Murdoch winning this because this would be the big baby face winning, and he was screwed at the last pay-per-view. They kind of view him as their Dusty Rhodes. I can see them doing that. I can see them doing that. That's just me. But they got to go in a different direction. Maybe someone new comes in after this match and sets up a match with Nick Aldis. But yeah, they got to do something. But that is going to be to the NWA this weekend. You can expect us to go live tomorrow for Empower review. It's going to be myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and the Stat King, the expert on NWA on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. We're going to be reviewing Empower, and he will also be doing a review of 73rd anniversary later on this week. But that is all for Tru Heel Heat 140. Let's thank the awesome, the insightful Andrew Thompson for joining us. Good sir.
Yes, sir.
You have been one of our favorite guests, sir. A whole bunch of great laughs. You got Top Guy JJ shooting because you were here and he wanted to impress you. So I thank you for being here. But Andrew, please let the people know where they can find you on social media and anything else you got going on, my good brother.
No, I appreciate y'all having me on, man. JJ, you are fucking hilarious, bro. For real. You are hilarious. No, I appreciate y'all inviting me on, man. They find me on Twitter at @ADThompson__, and you can check out my written work at postwrestling.com and my interviews at the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel.
This man is doing great things. One of the young goats of the wrestling media game and representing for African Americans in this wrestling media game. I love to see it. I love to see your success. And that's why we will surely have you on Tru Heel Heat once again in the future, my good brother. Top Guy JJ. Please let the people know where they can find you and all your insights, sir.
At Reality of Wrestling. That's what you see him at.
On Instagram, you can find me on Instagram at Tru Heel _Top Guy JJ. Weekly here on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. You can find me here with SP and the beautiful Miss Chrissy Love. We miss you, boo. Miss you this week. Can't wait to see you when you come back. Great to have you here, Drew. I mean, it was a pleasure having you on here. It was awesome. And you could catch me on some round tables here and there. But I mean, yo, this is what Tru Heel Heat is about. Yo, you shoot the shit show. You got to be able to speak the truth here. If you don't speak the truth here, go elsewhere, man. Go to one of them WWE created shits that you can speak like Booker on.
Fifth Generation Carney said it best. I love all the Tru Heel Heat. Please have Andrew come back. Peace and love to everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday, Fifth Generation Carney, and everyone else who joined us live for this edition of Tru Heel Heat. This was a whole bunch of fun. You can find me.
Trevor Murdoch.
Trevor Murdoch. You can find me on Twitter at Tru Heel SP3. Check out all the great content that we have up on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. There was the TakeOver and SummerSlam roundtables. There was NX3 this week. Rated Raw Superstars, as always, live on Mondays. We had AE Recap that dropped yesterday with Jimmy McElram and Marcus Cash, and we got a whole big week coming up next week. It's All Out week, so we have a AEW All Out
and MetLife Dome.
Exactly. Yep.
That's
New Japan.
Weekend,
we can't review that though because they don't want us to use their material. So, but we will talk about it. We will talk about it here. We will talk about it here. We will talk about it here on Tru Heel Heat next Saturday. It's going to be myself, Top Guy JJ, and we'll have a special guest. We'll announce that during the week. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. And of course, like this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. If you're watching on replay, let us know in the comment section below what you thought about all the latest wrestling news and Top Guy JJ's rant and Andrew Thompson's insight. let us know in the comments section below. And if you're new, push the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content right here on Tru Heel Heat. So for Andrew, for Top Guy JJ, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat. This has been Tru Heel Heat 140.
The summer is laughing.
The summer of returns. We are signing off until next time.